All right. Hey! It does look like that the stream's going. Okay. Hello, everybody. Or hello, one person, which I think might be Cal Pal. Yay, it worked! This is me. I'm Azur. So happy to have you here. This is my first time streaming. I'm not a streamer, and I just realized didn't check my hair or anything. Let's see. Anyway, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to do something a little strange and different, and I was going through. I want to say I was going through my material. I was going through my memories, sort of just like old nostalgic, feels good stuff, and I was like, oh man, Savage Tide is awesome. Maybe nowadays it is. It's definitely got. Let me hide this bookmark bar. Not that there's anything there. It's definitely got some problematic bits in it. Like looking back and reading through, there is demon worshipping island people, which gets to be a little tougher to publish nowadays. But there's also so much cool stuff like rising from level 1 nobodies, as every adventure path goes, to taking down demon lords, which is so cool. So, I honestly don't think I'm going to get like any viewers, but I just thought this would be fun to do. I kind of got some notes here, and I like talking about Pathfinder 2 design, because I'm a big old nerd about this stuff. So first off, you know me, I'm Azur. It's morning here, obviously, living in Japan. It's about 10:30 in the morning. I don't know where you're located right now, but anyway, I kept it on the cover art because I love this picture of Demogorgon, the classic demon lord of monsters. He's so cool. I feel kind of bad that now with Stranger Things, the idea of Demogorgon has kind of turned into this different, like, cultural subconscious thing, where he's what I've always called the ethereal filter. There, just the face opens up. Anyway, Savage Tide. Why I want to convert this and why I think it's really cool. Some of the names involved, some of the history involved in this. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of these adventures before we get into it. First off, our first adventure is There Is No Honor, written by James Jacobs, who also gives us the town of Sasserine, or Sassarin, I'm not even sure. This is such a really interesting start to the adventure. I'm going to talk a little bit about the overarching story, but I mean, because this is a 15-year-old game. This game came out in this AP came out in 2006. I had just graduated high school when this game came out. So people absolutely should be able to look up this story. I'm still not going to talk too much about it. This starts with a town that kind of sucks. Sasserine. It was ruled by thieves. It was ruled by a cult of Ouija worshippers. Guy comes in. Mayor comes in. All that gets put in the past. It's been terrible. But now this town's recovering, and we've got all these noble houses vying for control now. So you will take the place of not even bodyguards. You're like hired help to help out one of these minor nobles to reclaim her family's treasure. That's what we're going to kind of be converting today. The first adventure is so dungeon heavy. And one of the things I kind of want to talk about is 3.5 D&D as compared to what happened in 4th edition, as compared to Pathfinder 1st edition and then Pathfinder 2nd edition. And all of these really weird different play styles don't mesh anymore. So when you talk about converting things, the best kind of relation I can make with it is I study Japanese. And I'm always having to do translation work in my own life. And you can directly translate Japanese Just like you could directly translate a monster from 3.5 over to 2nd edition. But it's not going to work. Playstyles are different. So, for instance, Japanese, you might say onakasita, which directly translates to my stomach is empty, which makes 0 sense. But an informed translator would be able to say, yeah, oh, that means I'm hungry. Much like taking a look at a conversion, you might say, oh, there are ghouls in here. I'll just put in Pathfinder 2nd edition ghouls, and the players will be fine. That's not how that works. 3.5, a lot of the playstyle was revolving around, resource management or kind of wearing down at players' resources. And Pathfinder 2nd edition does not do that. So, in a way, you have to make these informed choices when you convert stuff. All right. I'm talking a lot about the background and how to convert. We will get to converting. But I want to go through some of these names again. James Jacobs does our first one, first adventure. Nick Logue, I know the name, but I've forgotten what he's done. That's embarrassing. I know he's still doing stuff. Richard Pett, also really big. Jason Bowman here, Adventure 4, Here There Be Monsters. I mentioned this in the Discord. This adventure pissed off my players, and I ran this in college. I'm going to zoom in on this drawing, this artwork here, because this is the exact thing that actually upset my players to no end. Oh my god, I've forgotten the name of what the demon is. But essentially, it's a demon that grabs you and teleports. And to make matters worse, I do believe that Jason wrote in that he teleports to a special prison island with one player and just tortures them to death. What? What an insane thing. So I remember that my players were going through one guy, I think oh my god, I'm trying to remember the team. They're Necromancer, because I could talk about that player. Necromancer gets grabbed, teleported away, and then if it weren't... Oh, yeah. Dude, Jason Bowman as a mean GM? Yes. Has anyone played Fall of Blakestone? Yes. I love it. The problem is, Jason Bowman's playstyle is also mine. So I like it a lot, but I can see player side that not being great. But yeah, my player got kidnapped, and if it weren't for metagaming where I'm like, oh, the Necromancer isn't around anymore, and the Sorcerer just being like, oh, all right, well, we'll just... Sorcerer, Rogue, Mystic Thruge... No, I don't know. I forgot what he was. Sorcerer, Cleric, Mystic Thruge, Rogue, 3.5. It was like, oh, we'll just scry on him, and then we'll teleport to him. Problem solved. But yeah, that adventure. Boy, that nearly broke up the group. It was potentially... Actually, the next one that did end the group. Lightless Depths may have been where that ended. No, we got past Lightless Depths. You can even see we've got the Aboleth sitting here. There is a very big, cool Aboleth section here in Adventure 6. Cal, I think you know this stuff. Like, that the old... I don't know, actually, what your familiarity is with the old Paizo stuff. But they would put out an adventure once a month for a year, and that was the primordial adventure. I mean, it wasn't the primordial. They were the first adventure paths. There was technically the 3rd edition adventure path, the Ashardalon one, which I took my shot at converting before, but that got really complicated. So yeah. Every month they put out an adventure, which I think the goal was you could just run it apart from the adventure path. You didn't have to kind of tie it in. So you'll see in a lot of these adventures, it's not that they're disjointed, especially at this point, because Savage Tide was the 3rd adventure path that was put out in the dungeon magazines. So it was a little more cohesive, as opposed to Shackled City, which was their first, which was like disparate ideas kind of coming together to make a storyline. That was cool. Really liked that. Anyway, I was talking about writers. F. Wesley Schneider. We have seen his work on the Dungeon Master's Guide. James Sutter. Tito Letty. Keith Bay. Oh, here we go. I mean, I'm kind of a nerd here for Keith Baker. I do believe he was the creator of Eberron, who gives us Adventure 8. This is past where my group had gotten to at this point. Scuttle Cove, we never made it there. Sean K. Reynolds, Eric Boyd, Wolfgang Bauer, who is now our founder of Kobold Press. So, I'm sorry. Wolfgang Bauer, did he do Kobold Press, or is that... Anyway, yes. You can kind of see, again, I'm not going to talk too much about the later stuff, but you get into parts where we're talking about track down Witch Queen Igwilv, sabotage an outpost on another plane that Demogorgon uses to stockpile supplies and retrievers. This stuff gets insane. Secure the aid of Orcus, Malconthet, and other demon lords. These are all names that you would just read in like the Manual of Planes or, any sort of fiction. It was insane that this was, an adventure path they put together. I'll talk about that later, but let's kind of just get right into it. First off, starting with it's very cool art. God, I kind of keep wanting to nerd out on dumb little things, and I will. So Dungeon Magazine was where they kind of started the idea of iconics, and I don't know if Shackled City did it, but I know that Age of Worms did because I ran that game to completion. They started using, from I believe what James Jacobs said, they were using their in-house characters to provide the basis for their artwork. And so these were, at least in Age of Worms, they were characters that Paizo employees played. I'm not sure about Savage Tide. However, taking a look right away at one of the characters we'll be seeing a lot of, this is Proto-Harsk, 100%. This is the iconic Pathfinder Ranger, like, to a T. You can even see... This is not Wayne Reynolds. I feel like Wayne Reynolds had to do some concept art for this. You can see that very Reynolds-esque triangular axe. You can see the clan dagger looking thing before clan daggers were a thing. This is absolutely looking like Harsk. Very cool. Anyway, so starting off, Savage Tide, there is no honor. Overview of this story. I'm going to skip past the adventure background. I could talk all about that. The synopsis is where we're going to sit at for converting stuff. Okay? Essentially, the players get hired by Lavinia Vanderboren, who is going to be here for the entire adventure path. This adventure path has some of the coolest NPCs. Big reason why I wanted to actually convert this is because I don't see NPCs like this anymore. Lavinia is your very not typical. She's your lawful good. Is she lawful good? She's your good noble. I'm looking up right now. Here she is, Lavinia. Got her stats because it's 3.5. Neutral good. Okay. She's your hero noble. Just wants to do good by everybody. And she starts the adventure young and naive, kind of an adventurer type, and very much ends a different person, which is such a cool... I love arcs for NPCs, especially the ones that stick with you the entire game. I'm going to talk about converting NPCs because it's going to get into some weird areas. Generally, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, if you're not going to use an NPC's stats, you're not going to spend a bunch of time converting them over. Here, Lavinia is a level 2 aristocrat, which may as well be, to quote like AD&D, like a level 0 commoner, in a way, with feats like negotiator and skill-focused diplomacy. However, we may be needing her stats even in this adventure, so I'm putting that as a side thing. May have to convert Lavinia. All right. Got distracted. Lavinia is looking for her brother. That's the kind of the crux of the adventure. I'm getting ahead because there is one step before that. But Lavinia is looking for her brother Vanthus. Vanthus is another character that's going to be so huge throughout this adventure path. Not just huge. I'm gonna give some spoil. Okay, so. Whoa. I thought it was Photoshop, and my brain just went to Photoshop hotkeys. Here's Vanthus. Fantastic, fantastic artwork from the magical year 2006. Now, I said that Savage Tide has some good NPCs. Vanthus might be my favorite NPC in any adventure path ever. People can talk about Anchor Root from Strength of Thousands and turn her into a huge meme. Vanthus is the coolest. Not the coolest. That's wrong. He is the most awful NPC. Like, you want to hate this guy. And Book 1, Adventure 1, builds up just an amazing reason for players to hate this character. And he's not going to be that intro NPC that, like, he was that bad guy of Book 1, and then we don't see him again. Like, let me think. I'm trying to think of how many APs do that now. Age of Ashes gives us Vaz, Lyrion, and Malarunk, and they're already gone by the end of Book 1. Oh well. Extinction Curse gives us the Halfling Druid, whose name I forgot because I didn't run Extinction Curse. Gone by Book 1. Agents of Edgewatch. Gone by Book 1. All of these kind of villains are used to get to a certain point in a story, which is cool. I'm okay with that. That's their role. Vanthus is a story in and of itself, and we got to do him justice if we're going to convert this, and we're going to have to convert his stats so many times throughout the adventures because 3.5 loved to put in NPC stats and loved to use those NPCs, so we're going to be doing that. All right, so she's looking for her brother Vanthus. That's going to be a part of the story. But this is going to kick off, and that's where we're going to start our conversion, is she needs to get to her family's vault. Her family has recently died in a mysterious boating explosion, because boats explode often. I don't think it's... obviously, we could talk about the story. I'm not converting the story. Vanthus blew his family up. Vanthus, the horrible brother... tries to take control of the family fortune by blowing up his family. Let's see, here we go. Where his parents had just purchased a new ship and were planning on taking a relaxing trip up the coast, but Vanthus smuggled a dozen barrels of alchemist fire into the ship's hold and arranged for an accident, killing everybody. Now, things go wrong because Vanthus wants to use this money to impress a thieves guild. He's a bad guy. Dude sucks. So, Lavinia is actually given control of the family's estate, but she's going to need some money. And that money is tied up on her family's ship. So, the first part of the adventure is getting the players to that ship, getting them on it, and of course there's going to be complications. So we're going to be converting those complications. First things first, I could talk about adventure synopsis more later. Right now, I want to talk about getting there. Starts off, if I'm writing this as an adventure path, I'd probably do something better, a little bit more of an adventure hook than Cora Whistlegap the Halfling shows up wherever the players are and hands them a letter. This letter being, "Hi, I'm Lavinia Vanderboren. Can you help me?" I think it's okay, but we're going to go with that. Now, let's get out our doc. I do everything in docs. So boring. Welcome to the exciting stream where I open up a Google Doc. Yes. I'm going to make a little checklist of things I want to do. Okay? Checklist of things. Adventure 1. 1. There is no honor. Okay. We're going to have... How many chapters are here? 5? Oh my god. Part 1. Part 2. Hey. Part 3. Oh, hey! I have never heard... Oh boy. You can all tell I'm really new to streaming because I'm like, hey, what's that noise? And I have default everythings because I just kind of wanted to talk to people today. It's raining outside. I should be training for a 10K coming up. But I don't want to do that, especially not in the rain. So, hello everybody! There's Nex! One of my favorite people. This is what I look and sound like. Hey everybody. So, we're talking about Savage Tide. And I just did a whole big long spiel about the insanity that is this adventure path. But right now, we're going to get into some of the stuff to convert. So first off, players are getting introduced to Lavinia Vanderborn, who's going to be our kind of NPC. Not NPC, she's going to be our contact for the game. My goodness. It's exciting. Being seen for the first time, and everyone gets to see my manic 2 cups of coffee body. Body? Mode. Not sure. My brain kind of thinks in Japanese half the time, and I can't translate out. Alright, so, first things first. When converting, I look at old skills, I look at old DCs, and I kind of just go through for there. Our players are getting introduced to Lavinia Vanderborn. She's going to be our contact NPC for the game. And the first skill check we have is essentially a recall knowledge check. Right here we've got... Boop, 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 boop. It's only a DC 10 knowledge, nobility, and royalty check to recognize the Vanderborn name. That is not... I would say anybody trained in society would know that... there. It's a Vanderborn name. They're nobles of the town of Sasserine, which is going to be huge for book Adventure 1 and 2. We're going to kind of talk about converting Sasserine and all that stuff. Oh my goodness. By the way, I will talk play-by-post stuff eventually. I kind of just want to get into some of the conversion. And I can take weird questions about Japan or Korea or the fact that I am drinking water out of a whiskey glass because that's the way my family does things. It's too early for whiskey, so I have to drink water. All right, so let's talk this first. I'm going to put, let's see, what page is this? Let's organize things by pages so I can keep this. 2006. Page 16, part 1. Page 16. Recall knowledge. So, first things first, I'm going to say, I don't like that formatting. Okay. Anyone trained in society would recognize the Vanderborn name. All right, they're going to be... Vanderborns are going to be so huge. Sorry. The 2 Vanderborns that remain are going to be so huge throughout this adventure path. I would love for players to be like, cool, I have society invested. It's going to sort of, that skill will fall off as this adventure goes, because we're going to get into weird planar stuff, but I would love for players to be rewarded for having society here early. Anyone trained in society will recognize Vanderborn name. Now, recall knowledge. A secret... I'm gonna shorten things, and I'm gonna go back to this document later and sort of fix it up, clean it up, make it look good. Secret recall knowledge check. DC. Let's look at the level-based DCs. This is DC 15 at level 1 in 3.5. Here's where you have to have a lot of information to do converting, especially these older modules. DC 15, kind of tricky, but I want to do kind of localizing it, making it a little bit more Pathfinder friendly. I would make that an easy level 1 check. So that would be DC 13. I'm not sure how much I love 13 as a DC. I'm going to say, and these are numbers I can adjust later, that's going to be DC 12, secret recall knowledge check, secret society recall knowledge check, DC 12. All right, and let's talk about what that gives us. Kind of tempted to write in a critical failure, but first off, crit success. And again, I'm gonna clean all this up later. Crit success will give us this little extra bit. Okay, It's enough to recall the news of a tragic fire a month ago that claimed the lives of Varric and Larissa Vanderborn, two names that you do not know two names you do not need to know past this sentence. Done. Varric and Larissa Vanderborn are dead. That's it. Tragic fire. Tragic fire claimed the lives of Lavinia's parents. Done. That is going to be, one, why I like that as a crit success. It's not necessary to know for the adventure to progress. However, it gives you cool context for the story, and even better when it does come out that Vanthus was the one that set the fire, you get to hate him even more. All right, and our actual success will be, let's see here, is enough to know that Lavinia is the eldest daughter of the family. Boom. Easy. Lavinia is the eldest daughter. Is this information super helpful? Not really. It gives players a little bit of context for the person they're about to meet. I'm going to also type in crit failure, because anyone who's played with me maybe knows this. I realize these are all secret checks I do. I love critical failure effects, and I especially love them for secret things. Who did I get recently? I got somebody in the play-by post recently with a crit failure, and they acted on it, and I felt somewhat bad, but not that bad. They're so much fun. The Kingmaker story about a critical failure, but keep that for later. I'm going to fill this in, unless anybody has any suggestions. Critical failure for Vanderborns. Actually, so one of the big points of this adventure, kind of the climax of this adventure, takes place with a thieves guild with tracking down Vanthus throughout this thieves guild. Tying a crit failure to this thieves guild could be interesting. The thieves guild is the Lotus Dragons. So the Vanderborn name has ties to the up and coming Lotus Dragons Thieves Guild. All right, cool. All right, now that way players are like, all right, we haven't met this person, this Lavinia Vanderborn. Can I make a society check to see if I know about her? Roll that secret check. Crit failure. Very difficult to do. You would have to get a 1. That's a 5% chance, really. And now there's the off chance that you get this fun story beat of the players maybe not going into a meeting with Lavinia, trusting her. Cool. I like that. While the crit success gives you a lot more sympathy for her. She just lost her parents in a tragic boat fire. A thing that happens all the time. All right, cool. So there is that's honestly, in terms of conversion, all we need for part 1, which is, they've even named the parts. I guess they do that in the APs. I've got my APs open right now. Do they name them? I'm gonna, do they? Yes, they do. Oh my goodness. No, hold on. Let's see. They name chapter? Yes, they name the chapters. Welcome to Danger. I've got Fist of the Ruby Phoenix open right now. Welcome to Danger Island. All right. So yes, a noble deed, a noble in need. Sorry. So all we have. Oh, we've got one more thing. Ooh, hey-oh. There we go. Boop, boop. We do have one more thing. More NPCs that I like. These guys are not vital to the story, but it's a piezo touch that you can see. And I call this a piezo touch because I see it in a lot of APs that I don't see in other places. And I like it. This introduces your rivals, so to speak. I'm going to say you in reference to the players, but it introduces the rivals to the players. They're the Jade Ravens. They are a mercenary company that works for the Vanderborns. Essentially, you guys are the second string. You're getting hired to do the grunt work, the cleanup work. These guys are the actual group of heroes, so to speak. So let's see. So we got a DC 15 knowledge check recognizes the group. I'm not going to say trained in society recognizes them, but, I would say, yeah, give us a, what? That'd be an on level 15. DC 15 society, I believe. Converting this to Galarian or keeping it in the original setting. I actually did want to talk about that. So I'm going to keep it in the original setting because, first off, should this go well, I would absolutely make a conversion guide to take this to Galarian. However, this adventure path is so tied into the setting, which is Greyhawk. And I'm hoping that, just hearing Greyhawk is got it. But for those who don't know, Greyhawk was essentially the original Gygaxian setting. Blackmore, but it's so tied in because we've got Demogorgon's demonic politics being a huge part of it. We've got the gods and goddesses playing a minor role, but the planes of Greyhawk are so huge to this that converting it to Galarian would be intense. I'd have to find, the demon lords don't grok quite the same. Trying to think, because spoilers, Demogorgon is the ultimate big bad of this adventure, and I believe he is he is CR 33 in this adventure path that goes up to level 20. Blah. Which does mean that when we get to converting to that point, 1, I will be an old man, but 2, that's going to be the most intense conversion of I have to convert this level 33 and many steps along the way of how to get him weaker so that players can actually fight him. So, yeah, keeping it in the original setting, I actually have... Where did I make this? Let's see here. Please don't have anything bad in my recent conversion notes. Boop. All right. So what I did in my spare time as a crazy person was convert the Greyhawk deities. Oh, can we not... Is that blurry? Is that all blurry and crap? Oh, no. I converted the Greyhawk deities over to Pathfinder 2nd Edition because I don't know. I think attention deficit disorder is a real thing, and I should get checked out for that. I don't know. Ouija's, where is Ouija's? Plays somewhat of a role in the... Here we go. Goddess of Death and Magics plays somewhat of a role in the game. Now, yes, it is a superpower. I can focus on so many things at once and get nothing done. ADD. Very impressive. What was I thinking? Oh, yes. So, all of this conversion, super fun and as exciting as it is, once the 2nd edition remaster comes out, might have to get another pass, but hey, this is a good time to kind of get the groundwork laid for everything. So, yeah, it's going to be sticking in Greyhawk. This adventure path is also the 3rd, there we go, in a series, sort of the dungeon adventure paths. First being Shackled City, which I know nothing about. It was coming out when I was in my junior year of high school. I was too busy to play anything that I didn't write, and I was not financially able to buy a magazine once a month, despite having a job. Shackled City happens, doesn't have a lot of impact on the overarching story of Greyhawk, but then Age of Worms happens, and I consider that canon to whatever is going on in Greyhawk now. I think Wizards of the Coast has forgotten Greyhawk exists. Because if it's not the Sword Coast, it's not real. It's not real, never heard of it. Greyhawk. Age of Worms happens. The rise of a god of the undead. Players have to fight him. Very cool. Some of the events in Savage Tide take place after Age of Worms. There's some references to it. There's also some references to Shackled City, which I can sum up as, oops, we built a town on top of a volcano. And also, trying to remember, The volcano is the site of an ancient ritual to do something bad. Okay? We have to collect souls. There's a lot going on with Shackled City, and if ever I get the time to convert that, that would be fun. But for now, I want to go with something that I have a lot of nostalgia for. Savage Time. All right. Holy cow, I got really off track. I just wanted to include... Hello. Let's get that back to 100%. Thank you. I was looking up what page. Here we go. Oh, hello, Lavinia. 16, right? 17. Page 17. Page 17. We're going to have recall knowledge. Did I spell it? There we go. Knowledge on the Jade Ravens. There we go. Wow. Thank you for correcting me. Google. Recall knowledge of Jade Ravens. I would absolutely just make that Society Recall knowledge DC, and I like the idea of Jade Ravens being somewhat unknown, somewhat known. So looking at our level-based DCs, just make that a normal level 1 DC. I think that if you're playing as adventurers, you might know about them. Yeah. Give me a DC 15 to... And this... Oh boy, this is super vague. A DC 15 knowledge local check recognizes the group. That's it. I think we could do more with that. Hello, I'm working on my own conversion of APs. Seeing your process is very useful. Awesome. Super glad to hear that. I might talk a lot about the history of the game and some of the stuff, but generally I am going to focus a lot on the design elements of why people make these choices between editions. So, there's Tomb. Oh no. Tomb. Hey, bud. Sorry. We want to recognize. No, I'm gonna do the crit success, crit failure, etc. Boy, this is my formatting's all messed up here. Crit success. You're in. I am. Here's the thing. For those of you who may not know Tomb, if you mention a game to play, he will somehow be in it. I have no idea. I run 4 games on the server right now. How many are you in? Almost all of them. You're not in... Have you built a character for this conversion? Yeah, for this conversation. Yes. Please show up. I'm going to put in a crit failure here. All right. So, first off, we want the players to not hate the Jade Ravens, and I'm gonna segue into a weird topic about my players and the Jade Ravens. I played back at the start of college, and my players met the Jade Ravens, and they were like, "Oh, we hate these guys," which is the right response. Like they even say, they size up the PCs for a moment before announcing, "You must be the help Lavinia's bringing in to do the chores. Best of luck to you." So they're a little dickish. We don't like these guys. However, my group went in a very different direction. And they were like, "We'll pull some pranks on them." All right. Throughout the game, they'd constantly kind of showing off, making the Jade Ravens look like idiots. And then one of my players murdered them in their sleep. Which went beyond pranks. It actually derailed the game. It was like, oh my god, we killed the woman's bodyguard, the woman that we're working for, we killed her bodyguards. It entirely derailed the game. So we want them to hate the Jade Ravens, but not murder them. So, all right, let's take a look at how we want to do that. Let's remove those notes. I don't need those. Okay. Crit success. All right, first off, success. We're going to give exactly what the AP gives. They recognize the group. I'm just going to say. Recognizes the group as a mercenary band working for the Vanderborn family. Cool. Crit success. I think we should go into somewhat of the powers the powers, not like the classes. We've got the ranger, the rogue, the druid, and the sorcerer. I'm going to just put a note here. Crit success, learn a bit about the individuals involved in the group. And I'm going to clean that up later, just so I can kind of speed along to get to the fun stuff, which is a giant fight on top of a burning pirate ship at level 1. Yes, I love APs. So, crit failure, we should plant a seed of doubt in there for players. You don't, by the way. We can skip over a crit failure. You don't have to put a crit failure in for every recall knowledge. 100%. You can go overboard with these. I like them. For now, actually, I'm going to leave it blank rather than... Because I just started realizing I was going to walk down the same path I did before where my players hated the Jade Ravens too much. So, anyway, how's everybody doing today? Well, I'm an hour into a stream and I've gotten nothing accomplished. For me, it's raining here in Japan. Looking out the window, it's awful, and I want to go get in shape, but also I don't want to do that, so I'm going to sit in and hang out and convert stuff today. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Talking to Lavinia. There's no more mechanics to convert over. Well, shouldn't say that. I'll pay you each 200 gold in return once I have access to my vault. That's going to be an ongoing thing. Gold conversion, treasure conversion. When I convert things, I always save that for last because it gets messy. I don't know if anyone has played Kingmaker. There is a very, very bad conversion in the Kingmaker 2nd edition. And maybe it was left in on purpose. I want to pull it up now. This is exactly how it goes. You start thinking about one thing, and you're like, well, I've got to confirm this. Check my Kingmaker AP. Yeah, you guys can't see me going through this, but I have to. I have to point this out so that nobody makes the same mistake that I did. Where is it? Let it be known, blah, blah, blah. All right, so once you make it through the first leg of Kingmaker, you're given some gold. Reading. You're given some gold to get started. The players are given an absurd amount. It's like 50 gold pieces each or something. Oh my god, it's going to drive me insane. Lady Jumanji. Whoa. Oh, yes. Still getting used to this. Anyway, here we go. She offers each player a reward of 50 gold pieces and 2 lesser healing potions. Now, healing potions, cool. No problems there. 50 gold pieces. 50 gold pieces in Pathfinder 2nd edition at level 1. So I sat around my table with my friends and I said, so she each gives you 50 gold pieces. And my fighter looked at me and he went, so I can buy a +1 striking great pick? And I was like, oh no. Oh, and he's like, no takey backsy. No takesy backsies. And he has since just traipsed through the adventure. We have speed run the first book of Kingmaker. I mean, we got through the first book of Kingmaker in 3 sessions. They show up to... This is not spoilers. Everybody knows. Staglord's there. Just shows up to the Staglord. Hey, how's it going? I'm going to one-on-one the guy. And that's what he did. He just beat him down with a +1 striking great pick. And power attack. Still having a lot of fun with Kingmaker. My game is currently on hiatus. Long story there. Okay. So, converting gold sucks. We are going to save that for later. Right now I want to focus on encounters, maybe minor skill checks, stuff like that. By the way, Dungeon Magazine. Every interaction includes this. I'm going to zoom in more. Every interaction includes this, which I always thought was funny. We want more than 200 gold as payment. they always, always, always include if your players are haggling for more. It does make me think that they included the haggle for more as a part of their treasure calculations. And let me tell you, back in college, it's all my players ever did. They were like, "Yep, we need more money. You know what? We'll take that magic item you're holding right now." Guys, come on. All right, I talked about this a little bit. I'm going to go back to it just for right now because we've got our stats here. 3.5, even Pathfinder First Edition, statted every NPC, even if you didn't use them. We're not going to convert every NPC. You guys have seen APs and modules. We just have... Essentially, what was done up here. Lawful neutral male human ranger 3. That's all the stats you need. Why Lavinia is statted here? She does kind of show up in one of the encounters. We might need to stat her. We'll talk about that later. But you can take a look at her stats. She's an aristocrat level 2. She has feats like negotiator, skill focused diplomacy, which are useless for what she's going to be involved in the actual module itself. This is just background to kind of inform what she does. Also, the plus 16 diplomacy. It's been a while since I've played 3.5, but is that accurate? How is that? Hold on. We are going to notice some weird number things, because I've already picked out a few of them. Plus 16 diplomacy. What does negotiator give? Hold on. Don't put up anything weird. Negotiator 3.5. Let me see. All right, plus 2. Yeah, plus 2 bonus to all diplomacy checks and sense motive. Okay, I do believe the skill focus back then was plus 3, so we've got 5 there. If she's got 4 ranks in it, so we got 9, and a charisma of plus 2. I'm not getting to 16. I have no idea. All right, that's just me being weird. Anyway, we're going to get to the real thing that we're going to convert, which is part 2, Trouble on the Blue Nixie. So, the Blue Nixie is Lavinia's family's boat. She comes from a rich noble family. They had lots of boats. One blew up. But we've got the backup one, and the backup one, I believe you're going there to get the key. I know the end result is you will get the key. I believe. Let me see. Make sure. You get a key to the family vault so that she can access her fortune, so that she can, well, that's going to be Adventure 2 stuff, but so that she can do some colonizing. I mentioned up top there are some problematic things. This is 2006. You know, it was a different time. People wore Jinko jeans and listened to Limp Bizkit. I don't know. So she's getting the money to found a colony. We'll talk about that. But here's the cool part. Let's talk about the Blue Nixie. First off, as it is an adventure, especially in 3.5, one of the best things to do with adventures is give a very easy task and then complicate it. The easy task is show up to the Blue Nixie. Get the key, get out. Easy peasy. That's why your low-level guys are hired. There's no expectations of combat or anything going wrong. Obviously, metagame, the players are going to expect something to go wrong, but story-wise, verisimilitude-wise, it makes sense. The problem being, you show up, and he. Well, I'm already thinking few steps ahead here. The Blue Nixie is missing. Worse than that, it is sitting out in the middle of the harbor, docked far away. Now, I believe, what's going on here? Yes, they're the Lotus Dragons, the Thieves Guild that we're going to be touching on later. Boy, I want to kind of zip to that real fast. Is smuggling exotic animals. If you guys are not excited about what that means for an adventure, I mean, we can't be friends. Because now what we have set up is a contained space in the middle of a dock, middle of a harbor, surrounded by water, filled with exotic beasts and pirates. That's just such a cool opening. It could only get better if, I don't know, the whole ship caught on fire? Yes, I love this. Okay, so, spoilers, that ship is going to catch on fire, and there's going to be a lot of beasts escaping. It's so cool. All right, so, Vanthus gives the Blue Nixie over to the Thieves Guild, who are now using it to smuggle these exotic beasts, exotic monsters. So, blah, 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 blah. She tells you it's docked here. It's not. Oh, no. It's moored to float about 100 feet away from the pier's end. Now, this is another 3.5 thing, is deciding when your players are going to go there. So, thinking as a player, you see the boat is out there, and you're probably suspecting no good. This kind of portion of the adventure can go one of two ways. Players arrive during the day, players arrive at night. As I go into more detail with the encounter, I want to talk about dim lighting or versus darkness. Baby's asleep, sneaking back. Absolutely. See you, Tomb. It was nice talking to you. Glad you got to hang out for a little bit. Yes, my wife is at work. I am not. That is embarrassing. What was I saying? Yes. So I'll talk about dim lighting and darkness, and I don't really want to penalize low-level players for fighting at night. But, hello, I've got to follow. This is very exciting. I should change these default things so it's not just like 2 hearts and it could just be something a little more Pathfinder-y. Anyway. All right, I'm leaving that recall knowledge check for something else. All right, part 2, I'm just going to put call the Blue Nixie. This is the most disgusting... It is exciting. Yes, thank you. It's a super exciting adventure of getting onto a pirate ship that's going to catch on fire. Which, if anyone's played some of my Pathfinder Society scenarios with me on the server, know that somehow, if there is a pirate ship, it's going to catch on fire, like, every time. All right. By the way, is there anybody here who's not from the Play-by-Post server? And if you're not, I do not. I am a part of a group. We run a Play-by-Post server where we take in people to play all sorts of fun Pathfinder and Pathfinder adjacent games. I think we've got Cal, I think if he's still here, is going to be running Alien. Cool. He lies. He has got yes. Oh, cool. Well, Sparky, welcome. We do a lot of games. I run a lot of games. I think I'm running 4 APs right now. And we're going to be in June. I'm going to be doing like 6 Pathfinder Society scenarios. Oh my god, I don't know where I find the time for this stuff. He says as he spends a morning coffeeless converting a 15-year-old game. All right, what I was saying, keep distracting myself. The Blue Nixie is going to have 2 modes, essentially. Daytime, nighttime. We'll talk about that later. The first thing we want to do is look at these old 3.5 stat blocks. Oh, here's the Blue Nixie. It's a boat. If you don't know what a boat looks like, this is very helpful because me, at the ripe old age of, how old was I when this game came out? 18? 17? I was 17. I had no idea what a boat was. Someone could say, oh, it's near the mizzen mast. I have no idea what that is. I still don't. Okay. So, let's look at these stats. There are only, I'm going to make 3. There are only 3 stat blocks that we have to convert. And we can do that really easily. So if you're watching and looking into how to convert stuff or how to make conversion easy, time to perk those ears up. Vark's Thugs. These guys are CR 1/2. Or level -1, level 0 for Pathfinder 2 terminology. Now, let's zoom in a little here, because these guys are useless. They're useless. All they have are rapiers that they're not good at hitting with and crossbows that they're not good at hitting with. They're mooks. These are the guys that you throw at your players just to get mowed down. up to your players if they're okay with killing these guys. These old APs do not assume mercy. They kind of just assume murder people, let the guards sort it out later. Also, this is perhaps the second time we have found a math error. These guys are level 1 warriors, which are NPC classes. Talk about that later. Or never, probably. Which means they have a reflex bonus of +0. Okay? That's all right. They've got this dexterity of 11, so if nothing gets added to the reflex, still +0. And then they have the 1 feat that should kind of define their playstyle, and it's lightning reflexes, which gives them +2 reflex. I only point this out because I'm going to be using these feats as sort of a map to deciding what kind of creature we're going to make. And these guys bring nothing to the table. Lightning reflexes, +2 reflex, toughness, plus 3.5. Yes, 3.5 was +3 hit points, I believe. That maths out. I believe that warriors started with 4 hit points? Maybe they had a D8 hit die. Yeah, anyway. So, we do not have a very interesting first character to convert. So, rather than sit down and make this nobody, 3 points at level 1, more after level 4. Yes, correct. After you get level 4, you get 1 hit point per level. Correct. Yes. Hey, Sparky, I'm so glad to have you here. Especially if I forget 3.5 things, because it's only been 2 decades. God, I've gotten old. So, when it comes to these low level guys, I like to look at the NPC gallery. Whoops, is this not the one? Nope, that's not the NPCs. Portraying customized order, designing NPCs and organization, NPC gallery. Come on now. You are killing me, NPCs. Just give me a full list of all the NPCs, please. Alright, well. I know the name of what I want. I said that and I was like, oh, no, I don't. Bandit. Can I go up? NPCs, here we go. So, if you guys, I feel like everybody uses Archives of Nethys. If you don't, use Archives of Nethys. It's going to make your life so much easier. Alright, so I want, for this, I'm going to look at -1. Level -1. So here we go. Let's get our numbers out. Boom. Level -1. 2. Level -1. I'm going to look at all the level -1 NPCs we have, and we're going to base our character, or our NPC, off of that. Now, these guys, they have nothing that defines them. And I hate that. I hate if you have a character that's just hit points and hit things. That's not an interesting encounter. So, let's think about this encounter a little bit. Let me talk about it. This quickly becomes a swarm. As it's written, we have 8 characters to fight. 3.5 was worth. No, I think 3rd edition was the one that just gave you 3. I think 3. Or maybe Pathfinder was the toughness being better. Anyway, it got fixed eventually, thank God, and now it's like a staple feat. It still was a staple feat, weirdly. Anyway, so we have 8 NPCs. The way we want this encounter to work is that the players start to fight a few of these thugs at once, and then more continue to join the encounter. So, the way I see it is I'm immediately going to break a rule that I have for myself, which is really limiting the number of severe encounters at level 1. Because severe encounters are kind of bullshit at level 1. You don't have a lot of options to like mitigate problems. You just have a limited skill set of like 1 or 2 tricks. So I don't want to do severe encounters. However, a severe encounter where enemies trickle in kind of feels like a moderate encounter that goes long. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at how much experience is needed for a severe encounter. Level-based NPC. Here we go. Building. Here we go. Building encounters. Boom. All right. all GMs should be referencing building encounters, building creatures all the time, I feel. Maybe it's just me. Also don't like to make absolute statements, so don't worry about actually doing anything I tell you to do. So, we have a severe encounter. 120 experience. Okay. Blue Nixie, I'm going to call it severe encounter. I don't even want to, severe encounter. 120 experience. For those of you who think this is what the doc's going to look like at the end, give me some more credit than that. I will pretty this up. I'm well known for making PDFs of stuff. Yes, Nex is right. Seriously, these charts, and Nex has been in at least 3 or 4 encounters of mine that have gone completely sideways, and I've had to then go back and make a new encounter in the AP. So he's seen me in action with these. Yes, these charts are good. So, our party level is 1, which means if we make level -1, that's going to be party level -2 creatures. They're going to be worth 20 experience, and they absolutely fit that role of a lackey. So, let's keep level -1. Now, we've got another one. We've got Vark. Solar Vark. Didn't talk about him, did I? Solar Vark is the leader of these smugglers. And he is also equally not at all interesting. Okay? And we're going to make him interesting. I've got some plans for that. Here's what he's got. He's a level 2 warrior as opposed to this level 1 warrior. Cool. All right. He's a little bit better. He's got higher dexterity. Because he's got weapon finesse. Weapon finesse has not really changed from 3.5 to Pathfinder to 2nd edition. Well, sorry. Finesse, the trait, is now in 2nd edition. And he's got toughness. Woo! So what does this guy bring to the table? Nothing. He has a sack of hit points. 3.5, and let's talk about design philosophy a little bit. The point of 3.5 combats were to wear down your resources. It was there to be like, all right, can you keep fighting? Are you going to make it out of this one? Did you push too far? Which, in 3.5, I know it doesn't sound too interesting, but back then, that was really cool. That was a fun thing to do, where it's like, I think we're not going to make it out of this one. We have to use some resources to escape. And Pathfinder 1st Edition also had a similar mechanic, and similar design philosophy. That does not work in 2nd Edition. If a turn goes by and the GM goes, he strides up to you, and then he strikes, and then he strikes. That's not fun. You're like, okay. I even don't like if it's like, he demoralizes you, strides up and strikes. Sure, okay, that's kind of classic. I like when my encounters feel a little bit more dynamic. And if anybody's played with me, you may see my NPCs running around, taking cover, hiding, doing all sorts of insane, strange strategies that hopefully frustrate and demoralize you. All right, so we have to talk about on a boat and with pre-built multi-reactions. I would give it a yes, thank you. Next got it. Next got exactly where I was going with this. I want there to be no fall damage when you fall off the boat, because we have rules here. Where is it? Here we go. Blue Nixie requires a DC 10 climb check. I want players to be worried about falling off. The actual threat of the encounter really shouldn't be these low-level mooks, these low-level lackeys. The threat should be Solar Vark. And also, them splitting up the group by kicking them, pushing them off, moving them around. The boat, I really like that as an encounter dynamic. So, I'm getting into the weeds, but it's all going to come together. I swear. I promise you guys. Stick with me on this one. So, level -1 for our lackeys. I'm going to write it. I'm going to note it down on my piece of paper so we can keep this up. So, that means they're worth 20 experience points. We want to get to 120. We might be able to go over 120 slightly. Look at this again. I mean, this weird gap is always interesting to me, that between 120 and 160. I don't think, let's see, so we've got 7 thugs. That's already 140 experience points if we put in all 7 thugs. Yeah, exactly. We're definitely not sticking to level 2 for Vark. I'm debating now if we want to put him at level 1 or level 0. Because Vark he's not even like mid-boss level. Like, this guy is kind of he should be like, oh, this guy's in charge, but also we're better than this. So let's see. Building, yeah. There we go. If Vark is level 0, that's 30 experience points. Puts us at a weird spot, but I don't hate that. Like, we can go to 130 experience, and I don't think that's too bad. We could make him level 1. I also don't hate that. 40 experience points. We could put in 4 mooks to get the 120, which I much prefer to have a lot. I want my players to kind of mow through these guys and feel dramatic and exciting as they're kind of like knocking guys off the boat, taking them down. Again, there is a Saturday morning cartoon in my head where they're kind of taking them out and they fly off the boat, and they're okay at the end. I know that every group I've played with is like, and then I slice the neck of the guy that's just doing his job is smuggling animals. So, I mean, open to interpretation of just doing your job. So, my thoughts are, stop me if you hate this. 5 level -1 mooks. That gives us 100 experience. And putting Solar Vark at level 0 for 130 experience gives us a severe encounter. And have, let's see. If Solar Vark, if players show up, 4 mooks start fighting, and in the next round, Solar Vark and 1 more mook join, we've got an interesting kind of combat. Things do get more, and there's a reason I'm not going more overboard. Because you can go overboard with this one, especially if you're having trickle in and these level 1 fights. Because there is a second part to this encounter. And we're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about what our level 1 mooks are going to look like. First off, I honestly didn't mean to make the pun. I'm almost proud that I did it subconsciously. Can you tell I'm a father? My puns are in Japanese now. For those who don't know, I live in Japan. I study Japanese. My son is Japanese. I only speak Japanese to him. That's not true, but anyway, what is our minion base going to be? Japanese dad jokes. Yes, you guys want to hear my Japanese dad joke? I'll do this one real fast. So one of the candies my son likes to eat is a ginger candy. A little spicy, a little sweet, it's tasty. Ginger in Japanese is shoga, which is, ginger. And you might, the more I explain this, the more you're going to see where this joke is going. Anyway, if you don't have something, you say nai. So if I didn't have ginger, say, shoga nai. However, shoga nai also means, what can you do? Can't be helped. So whenever I buy my son candy and he eats it all and he asks for more, I go, shoga nai. We don't have any, also can't be helped. And my wife gets so mad. She's like, you didn't learn Japanese just to make these horrible jokes. I'm like, you are wrong there. That's why I did. That's exactly what I did. All right. Hey. Come for the conversion, stay for the weird, esoteric Japanese puns. All right. So we're picking out a base to make life easier. I could make the thug from hand, from scratch, but it's kind of useless because they're just all kind of have the same basic stats without too much variation. So looking through, we've got commoners. I'm going to pull up commoners because I don't think these guys are... Black Tier Cutthroats from Kingmaker. Got a lot of experience with them. No, maybe not librarians. Servants, servers, skebs, tax collectors, and the one that I actually looked at before and I like is the Aberton Ruffian. We're just going to use these as base stats and kind of base everything off of that. And then we're going to add in flavor. So base stats, flavor on top, boom, that gets us our creature. And like Nex said up top, give them positioning stuff. I want to have, one, the feeling I want to evoke from these guys is that they're not playing fair. They have no interest in fighting, like, toe-to-toe with anybody. So giving them cheap shots or giving them ways to just keep people off of the boat. Like a kick unarmed attack that on a connect pushes somebody. I don't want to do a whole lot of those because it's such an easy thing design-wise where you're like, does X with rider? And usually that rider is a combat maneuver. You can overload on those. All right, so let's look at some of these. Commoners. What do commoners do? Power the mob! Boy, I feel like I've used these commoners quite recently, actually. Pathfinder Society. When they're adjacent to each other, they get bonuses to athletic checks to shove, attack rolls, and damage rolls. That's not bad. We've got some basic stats. HP 10? That feels like a lot. Is that a lot? Level 1? It feels like a lot. Am I crazy? Let's look. Yeah, here we go. Black Tier Cutthroat. He's got 8. That's an assassin with 8 hit points. Let's look at one of these ruffians. 8. I think our baseline HP, 8 feels good. And I'm going to talk about how I make stat blocks. And some of you may know it, so we'll play with that. All right. Boy. See, I love Kingmaker. I will, however, say, no offense to James Jacobs or anybody that worked on the conversion, there is, like 8, but that's a good 2 hits. Or if you're in my group with a pick fighter, 1 solid swing for 54 damage at level 1. I hate it. So the Kingmaker Adventure Path, the conversion is one of these direct conversions that I talked about before, where it's just like, this is how it was, this is how it remains. Which is fine, but you definitely don't feel like you're playing 100% a 2E adventure path sometimes. Because look at these Black Tier Cutthroats. They just hit. That's all they do. There's nothing that makes them feel like... They don't even have sneak attack. Like, there's nothing that makes them feel like cool, roguish assassins. So I'm going to kind of disregard this one. So we've got our base stats that we want to work with, and then we'll come up with a fun thing for these guys to do. If I'm doing conversion and not in a stream or anything, I'd probably be doing this a lot faster, but I like talking to you guys. All these nice people that I just met, and also people that I play Pathfinder with every day of my life. All right. Here is the PF2 tools site. If you guys do not know this site, please bookmark it. Please, but this has everything, every Pathfinder link you could possibly need. And even to some like podcasts and stuff, you saw Dice Roll there. What I use this for mainly is going right to the monster tool. Boom. This thing is awesome. You just type in everything you need. There's my monster. Monster's name is super helpful. Yes, use it for prep. And yes, I keep trying to teach myself Easy Tool, like getting to the habit of using Easy Tool, and I never do. I don't know why. All right, so taking a look. Let's get our name, Vark's Thug. All right. Whoops, that's not what I want. Boop, here we go. Vark's Thug. All right, we want him to be level -1. Boop. Alignment. Alignment feels like a kettle of fish right now. A kettle of fish? Is that the right expression? Yeah, it feels like chaotic neutral. Boy, now I feel extra bad because I know these guys are going to get murdered. These are chaotic neutral, medium humanoids, all that good stuff. Base roadmaps. We don't want to do brutes. Brutes have high hit points. We don't want to do soldiers. Soldiers have high armor class, I do believe. Does it have the notes for them? No. Skirmishers. Low hit points, bit of armor, but mostly mobility, which is what we want to do. We want to do mobility. So it already gives us kind of where we want to see things over here. We're just going to expand on that. Some few things we'll just knock out of the way real quick. I always lose where speed is. Where is speed? Every time. How do I do this every time? Speed. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. Speed, here we go. Easy stuff out of the way, 25 feet. Nothing interesting about that. What kind of weapons? In the adventure, they have rapiers and crossbows. Let's keep with that. I see nothing wrong with keeping them, rapiers and crossbows. And while I'm here, I'm going to actually pull up some other building creatures. Boop. There we go. See my super cool way that you can't see like my Google autofill where I'm just like, I don't know what could come up in there. So I'm just going to do everything through Archives and Nethys. All right. Just so that I can look at this and have some reference for where I want numbers to be. Not that the monster tool won't give me those, but I like having the reference. So first off, these guys, let's talk about skills before we get into everything else. I want them to have acrobatics because they're going to be balancing on the ship. And now the tricky part. I don't think I want to give them athletics because that would make that just the better thing to do for them than hitting with their weapons, which is kind of what I want them to do. I want them to be not super effective, you know? Like a mook that uses their turn to just trip somebody is way better than the mook that's like, you got a crossbow. So instead, I still want to give them something interesting to do on their turn. Debating whether giving them stealth or stealth is just going to complicate things. I kind of want to give them deception. Hey, there we go. Let's give them deception. So now these guys can feel like the dirty fighters. All right, they're not actual brawly fighters, but they can, when they get into melee range, they might get a cool, fun feint off with no real mechanical benefits besides that flat-footed. Okay, I don't want to give these guys sneak attack. For the reason that that's a big spike in damage that a bunch of these low-level creatures suddenly pulling off, it just doesn't feel right. So, looking at these numbers, AC3, okay. Yeah. I'm going to say a word. I'm sure that lots of people that do conversion or were around during the playtest, or still even from time to time any playtest, verisimilitude is things making sense, numbers making sense within the context of the world. At low levels, things do tend to work out that way. High levels, a guy's got leather armor and 30 AC. Throw verisimilitude out the window. Absolutely. Low levels, yeah, you keep with that. Let's talk about their items, where we are with the items. Here we go. We're going to give them a rapier. We want to give them a little, whoa, almost said light crossbow. Crossbow. And I want to keep that armor class. Oof, I'm getting in the weeds, again. I'm doing it again. Let me stop myself. Look at these stats, if they're okay. Strength of -1, dexterity of 3, constitution 2. Yeah, that feels good. That feels like what I want them to do, okay? That way a GM can still say stuff like, oh, there's a barrel, and he runs up to it, and he hides behind it, and still has a +3 to stealth, which is not bad. I like this. I like these stats. I'm going to keep these stats. I'm already overthinking things. That is a high reflex save for level -1. That seems insane. Where are their saving throws? Senses, languages, skills, safe items. No, armor class. Saving throws. That's insane. Really? That feels like a lot. And the reason I'm concerned about reflex saves at low levels is because Electric Arc. Electric Arc ruins everything, but every team has it. I have yet to meet a team that's not like, you know what, we're going to skip out on Electric Arc and we're going to get another flavorful cantrip. No, it's always Electric Arc. I think I'll keep the reflex save high. 8 feels like a lot. I might just do an artistic bump down to 7. I just feel like. And you know what? Let's switch Fortitude and Will. Let's switch these because I want these guys to be weak-willed dummies. That looks fine. HP 7. I said 8. I think I'm going to stick with 8. I'm actually going to stick with 8. That seems fine. Rapier, crossbow. All right. Now, let's talk armor class. Because this is recommending, what, 13? 14. Let me see. These guys should have... moderate. Okay. In which case... I'm doing that thing where I'm like, should I go with verisimilitude? Make it 15, give them no armor? Because they originally have, what, leather armor? Leather armor right here. And a buckler. 2. Yeah, because they have no dexterity. Boy, ooh. Should I be going a different direction with these guys? Just to keep it... Nah. I still like them being these kind of nobodies. Yeah, let's keep that 14. Let's keep it 50. Let's... All right. Here's what we're going to do. Ooh. Ow. Cracked my arm. Let's keep it 14. Let's look at these skills now. Acrobatics. If we are going by the books. By the book. Doing things, not in the design sense of PF2 and going with that verisimilitude route. Acrobatics and deception, these are different. Make the deception 3. 2 for trained and 1 for the... Ooh. Oh my god. I can't stop thinking about this stuff. You should not be doing what I'm doing. Don't get lost in the weeds of... I say that a lot. Of what numbers should be. I'm going to say deception 2. Acrobatics 5. Acrobatics likely is not going to come up. I feel like I just made a flavor skill there. Hey, here we go. All right. Rapier crossbow. Does not need anything else. 10 bolts. 5 bolts. I don't know. There we go. 5. Feels fine. Feels fine. Give him 5. All right. And where is our rapier? We do want to keep, for as much as I say, don't worry about verisimilitude, you do want to have stuff that makes sense. Yeah, split different. 7.5 7.5 bolts. Oh my god, he crit me with half a bolt! I feel like that hurt a lot more. It's not coming out that way. Alright. Let's give him the 2 attacks. Boop, doop, doo. And I'm still thinking about what I want their kind of defining thing to be. We're going to call this our rapier. And our rapier does... That's 1d6 plus 1 is considered extreme. We are not... Oh, you know what we're going to do? Here we go. Deadly d8, disarm finesse. All right, cool. Deadly d8, disarm finesse. Okay, cool. I would like their damage to be 1d6 minus 1. Still keeping that verisimilitude in effect. That is piercing. Piercing? Is that formatted correctly? Sure. Yeah, piercing. Okay. And since that is finesse, brain. 2, 3, 5. Yeah, attack 5. That feels good. Come on now. Don't you mess with me. All right, rapier. Plus 5. We've got a not inconsiderable, not pathetic little attack. It does something, and at level 1, that can add up. I feel okay with that. Let's get our crossbow out. These guys are likely going to use the crossbow a bit more. I shouldn't say that. We don't want them using the crossbow more. Having them nearby, having a few support characters firing crossbows into cover. GMs do not forget soft cover or lesser cover now. Here we go. I forget how to format the range. I think it is just range 120 feet. Just right here, just like a trait. 120 foot range, like this. That feels wrong. That feels wrong. Hold on. Commoner, here we go. Duh, thank you for not being helpful. Let's look at the Aberton Ruffian. Of course. Here we go, range. There we go. I'm a sucker for formatting. Never remember to call it. It's exactly. It's always going to be soft cover in my brain. I have every single game I run, somebody always brings it up like, what? They get cover from that? Yes. Yes, and I'm so sorry to bring it up that way. It's even if they've been playing with me for like years, they're like, what? Soft cover? What? Lesser cover? What? Why? All right. And our crossbow, what, 1d8? Here we go. I'm currently, by the way, I'm playing in, I'm running Fist the Phoenix, Ruby Phoenix tournament. I'm running the Dark Archive mini campaign, running Strength of Thousands. Is that it? Kingmaker. So my brain cannot keep track of all these weird different levels that I'm playing at. Sometimes I'm like, crossbow, what is that? How much could it cost? 1d8 points. Not bad. It's been running playing. Yes, right? So everyone mentions it, where they say you have to like unlearn. You have to unlearn first edition or unlearn fifth edition, whatever. And to this day, I still am like, I think I just implemented a first edition rule. I didn't mean to do that. Yes, the dark. Okay, I'm gonna plug my Discord server real fast, and I should probably toss a link in since we're gonna be doing some recruiting soon anyway. The Dark Archives adventures are wild, and I've taken the opportunity to stretch them, put them all into a mini campaign. The way we're doing it on the server is everybody just makes the most insane character they possibly can think of, and they're all a part of an organization putting the Dark Archive back together. And the adventures have been really exciting. We have a time-traveling wizard. We've got a dual-class zombie fighter monk. We've got what's it called? The conduit for a fey spirit or an extraplanar living vessel, which has been interesting. We have a unexpected ace or unexpected sharpshooter alchemist. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We're in the 4th case right now. So, if people are interested in doing play-by-post games, let me know. We're going to be putting up potentially like 10 games in June. So, we're on 5e D&D for teens at work every other month. Nice. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. When I'm gonna say the controversial thing. I played a lot of 4th edition D&D when it came out, which is why I eventually moved to Pathfinder. I didn't move soon enough, and my brain, you could not take 3rd edition rules and put them into 4th edition, but I kept trying to do that. Like, it didn't work, but my brain just kept going, but it should make sense if it works this way. I played, I did not like 4th, that's the controversial statement. I didn't really like 4th edition, but I played it for about 2 or 3 years because I had a player that loved it. So I just kept running it even after all the other players died off. Or, wow, they didn't die off, but the interest died off. All right. Vark's Thug. Boy, I've gotten nothing done on the conversion. I'm so sorry. We've got our base. This is our baseline. Now we have to give him something interesting. No. Look, this is why. If I just wanted to finish conversion, I wouldn't stream. That's all. It's easy as that. All right. Let's give him a special ability. Boop. Now, next said, give him a reaction to reposition. I want them to kind of knock players off, and they don't have athletics to do that. Okay? I want them to corral players towards the edge of the boat, and maybe we make Solar Vark the one that does the kicking off, so to speak. I was going to give them the ability to like spit in people's eyes and make them dazzled, and then I was like, no, that's going to be way too complicated for these level -1 guys to just keep track of for all of that. So we're not going to do that. Deception, cheap shot. No, I don't like that. A reaction to, maybe they can use acrobatics to dance somebody into place. like the swashbuckler has that. I'm lurking. Hey, Poison! Hey, super glad to have you. Poison is another great person on our server. I'm so happy to have them. That is my adorable Leshy Bard friend, I believe, unless somebody's going by another Poison name. All right. Yeah, Poison plays with me in... Oh my god, Quest for the Frozen Flame, where I am playing a moody fighter. As a guy that loves spellcasters. As a guy that loves spellcasters, I have yet to play a spellcaster in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I think. All right. Gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed that people from my server are now seeing my face and hearing my voice for the first time. See, okay. This is... Sparky, that's kind of what I was thinking. A reaction to reposition a PC when they end their turn next to the mooks. I'm curious if, instead of when they end their turn next to the mooks, because that could get wild, a less likely event of if a player misses, if a PC misses, the mook dances them into position. Yeah, reaction to force them to step. Yeah, that is tough. Critical miss, yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Critical misses is like, the odds of that happening are so low. Maybe acrobatics. I keep going back to acrobatics because I do have a swashbuckling psychic in Fist of the Ruby Phoenix that have me thinking about dancing. Your knife length, yeah. Force net, yeah. It's really, really strong. All movement abilities are incredibly strong, and that's why I suddenly like walked myself into a corner here with this idea. I do like the reposition because I want to get them off the boat. Oh, you know what? I don't know if it's too hyper specific. If it is when an opponent is near the edge of a boat. No, that's really way too hyper specific. It's just not interesting. Like, it works for the context of that encounter, but I don't want to make an NPC that, even if I'm only going to use them for that encounter, that is that hyper specific. You know, where it's like, on turn 3, like, no, I don't want to do that. Let me think. I thought I had a good idea when I did this. I could honestly just make it a 2-action, unarmed strike, kick, 2-action acrobatics versus perception to move the mook forward and move the PC back. Yeah, I think changing up the actions, making it 2 actions, calling it leading dance is exactly what it's called for a swashbuckler. Swabby footwork. I don't know. There's our temporary name. Swabby footwork. I'm gonna go back to acrobatics again because I really like acrobatics. Keep rubbing my nose. Vark's Thug. This is rough draft. Vark's Thug makes an acrobatics check against an adjacent enemy. Enemy is such a loaded word. Whoa. Acrobatics check against the reflex DC of an adjacent enemy. On a success, they're pushed 1 square. Because I want to get them to kind of like maneuver them towards the edge of the boat. That's what I want them to do. On a success, they are... Ooh, forced movement rolls. Let's look at forced movement real fast. Ugh. I should have to use the bathroom. Let's see. Yeah. You can't. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go with pushed. Pushed 5 feet. Repositioned. There it is. Yeah, on a success, the target is I think repositioned might be the word I want. Positioned. Within 5 feet. That feels wrong. I got it. Important. A rule I'm not following. When converting, when doing anything, rough drafts. You can always go back and change things later. They're positioned with 5 feet. 2 and adjacent square. No, I'll get to it. Within 5 feet. I really have to use the bathroom. Okay. I'm wondering if there's anything I can put on. Anyone want to study Japanese while I'm gone? I have to use the bathroom real quick. Entertain yourselves with this Japanese language textbook. All right. I'll be right back. Hold on, sorry. Wait, I can mute this so you guys don't hear any weird stuff. I'll be right back. Alrighty, there we go, back. Screenshot of the textbook. Honest to God, if anyone wants to learn Japanese, here's my best advice. Don't do that. I live here in Japan. My wife is Japanese. My son is Japanese. I speak Japanese all day. I do not understand Japanese. Don't get it at all. I swear to God. You want to know how many textbooks I have? I'm within arm's reach of at least 6 of them, and I am still dumb. This is a basic beginner level, passing the first test, and I feel like if I went through it, I'd probably get 80% of them correct. But anyway, all right. Thinking about on a success target position within 5 feet. All right, all of that is wrong. All of the wording for that is wrong. I will go back and think about that. On a success. You want to learn Japanese? All right, look. If anybody, honestly, you want to learn Japanese, this is a quick one. Real quick. Where is it? Where's my book? Got it right here. Here we go. First thing you do, get one of those like Duolingo apps. Just learn that basic hiragana, and then you get the Genki book. And there you go. You just read through this. You can probably pass the first Japanese test. And it's a lot. It looks thick. It's very easy. And you'll learn like present tense, past tense. You'll learn how to ask for things. You'll learn how to make small talk. So, and if you're asking, how do you do future tense in Japanese? Great news. You don't. There is no future tense in Japanese. Everything exists in the present. Sort of. It's a long story. Japanese is very confusing. Very confusing. Okay. So yes. Get a Genki book if you want to learn Japanese. Start with, like I said, Duolingo. My friend helped develop Duolingo. She also promised me they're never going to have Japanese on there. What a liar. All right. Okay. I have lots of weird stories. For those of you who don't know me, we're on a play-by-post server for Pathfinder. Whoop, 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 whoop. Lived in Korea and Japan. Worked in a circus. Very strange guy. Been playing Pathfinder for a long time. God, we were very off track. All right. On a success. The target is... What a resume. Yeah, I really wish it was a helpful, useful resume. It's not. It's like, oh, you worked in a circus, so... Cool. Speak some Korean? Very not helpful. Awesome. Yeah, 감사합니다. Great. All right. On a success, the target is moved to an adjacent square. Move to a square within... Is square 4th edition words? Move to a square within 5 feet. Done. I could make it a critical success. Do it within 10 feet. I don't really like that, though. All right. There is our thug. That's it. Did I even set this up to be saved? No, I didn't. Cool. Good job, me. Here's what I'm going to do, so I can do it later. Print screen. Boop. I'm gonna save this in a separate file somewhere else. You guys can't see on my sweet Photoshop. All right, there we go. Knowing Photoshop is probably my most useful talent, just because I use it every day for play-by-post. This is a really good time. Does anybody, show of hands, want to join a play-by-post server for Pathfinder games? If so, I'll toss the link into the chat. All right, we've got Vark's Thug. If I log in, I'm going to lose him. Can I? I do. Next, you're already in. Next, you run the server. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, it's Mother's Day. Sorry, I just looked at the server and I saw it's Mother's Day. Oh, my God. Yeah, for you guys, I'm done. I did Mother's Day. We went to Costco and we ate pizza. Where is invite people? Here we go. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. I'm going to... Next, you're okay with me inviting just people onto the server? Because we're going to have, what? In 2 weeks, we're going to have a big bunch of games hitting the server, right? So, I'm tossing it in there. There we go. Ta-da! I don't know that we have any recruitment going on right now. Extinction Curse closed up. I closed up Strength of Thousands. So, currently, no games. But we're recruiting. I'm recruiting at least for 4 or 5 games in June. So, if you're into Fall of Plaguestone, Pathfinder Society, or more Pathfinder Society, boom. All right. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. It is saved in local storage. Cool. Can I copy this monster? Because I'm a big dummy. No, that's all right. Silly me. Well, let's log in. Nobody noticed this is sign in with Google. Boom. There. Oh, Chris. You guys figured it out. That's my name. It's all everywhere. All right. I lost Vark's Thug, but I have a picture of him, so let's move on to Solar Vark. I'm doing a good job here, everybody. All right. Vark. Whoa. All right, so Vark is our nobody. He's just like an upgraded Thug. I want to make him more punchy. I want to make him more hitty. I want to make him a dirty fighter. And when I think dirty fighter, my thoughts are either real easy, give him sneak attack, or a few conditions. Frightened, sickened, dazzled. Because when I think about an unfair fight, one, dazzled is probably the best for that. Frightened, yeah, that's more of a... I don't know if I like that for a dirty fighter. And sickened is always cool just because you're like, if only he didn't kidney punch me, I could kick his ass a lot better. All right. My God, I've already... Oh, jeez, I forgot to take all the notes for what we were going to do here. So, what did I say? 5 Vark's Thugs. And they're going to be level -1. And Solar Vark, we said we're going to keep him at... We're not keep him, we're going to put him at level 0. So that gives us 130 experience. And they're going to trickle in. Presumably. It also means that if the players came at a time where all of the pirates are on the ship... The pirates, they're not pirates, they're smugglers. If all the smugglers are on the ship at the same time in one place, it's not an impossible encounter. Small story, there was when 3rd edition came out and we got the open SRD, open gaming license, that was a huge thing. It was obviously, we got so many adventures that were just poured out everywhere, which meant quality control was non-existent. And I remember you could buy these like $2 adventures, like pamphlets, at your local game store. And there was one I bought where you had to sneak into a pirate's cove. And it was like, oh, if you go at night, there's a guard on duty. Like, encounter level, half. Nothing. And then it was like, if you go during the day, there are 56 pirates waiting. Encounter level, 12. Level 1 game. And it was just, even as a kid, this had to be middle school for me. Yeah, exactly. It really escalated quickly. I remember thinking, well, that doesn't seem right. I think the GM should say, go during the day. And if the GM's doing that, you should already just not write the encounter that way. Like, that. Oh, yeah, if you go during the day, you die. If you don't, you live. Maybe don't write it that way. So, but it does mean that if we encounter all of the smugglers at the same time, it's doable. It's survivable. All right, Solar Vark. Let's get out Solar Vark. Solar Vark. I'm not going to spend as much time on his stats, and I should, because I'll go back and adjust them now that I've got everything saved. Do I not? Okay, yeah. I thought I had more guys saved up here. All right, we want to make him... Kind of want to make him a skirmisher as well. I mean, yeah, he's a skirmisher. I think he's got a rapier. Yeah, he's got a rapier. Ooh, a masterwork rapier, which means in this, just a rapier, I don't care. It doesn't need to... here we go. So looking him over, he's got toughness, weapon finesse, skills intimidate. I'd like to keep that intact. I like that. These guys also had intimidate, but I feel like it's going to muddy up the encounter. That's another thing. Thinking about when writing encounters or converting encounters, either one, there are good action, like flows of action, but they can also make an encounter get bogged down. If everybody's doing demoralize on the mooks, these weak, low-level guys, I mean, it might tactically be the best play, but is it fun? I don't know. It's just, you might just defensively be like, okay, who's immune to the intimidate from this guy? Who's immune to the... It just bogs down. So, if I'm doing an intimidation kind of, or a frightened encounter, having one person that does intimidation stuff is fine. I don't think everybody needs to do it. Making Vark that guy, that feels good. So I'm already getting lost in the weeds. Gotta stop saying that too. All right. So thinking about that, let's just put that he's got intimidation, and I want to give him athletics. We want him to be doing the shoving. We want him to get people off the boat. And I'm trying to think how to do that. Because my image is a fight on a ship where he's fighting them at the edge of the ship, and then suddenly his foot comes out and boom, kicks him off the ship. That's dramatic. That's cool. So I'm going to give him an athletics, and I'm already thinking for a cool defining ability, maybe even two, an unarmed kick that shoves. It's got a shove rider. I like that. That's pretty fun to me. I'm also toying with the idea of giving him the ability to spit into somebody's eyes. Yeah, make him like I don't know how much I like this now that I start saying it out loud. Give him a spit attack. Oh, because then if you give him a spit attack, there's multiple attack penalty applied to it as well, and that feels weird. And it's like, oh god, he's going on a spit rampage. 3 spits around. Bottle Smash that gives stunned 1. I like that. I like that maybe too much. 1, because Bottle Smash, that bottle breaks, and then you're like, all right, I had my one. I like that as an ability, as a one-use ability. Stunned. God, I think everybody, and if we had Slozar in the chat, he'd be able to comment on this. He's just somebody that just spent a full encounter being stunned 2 in Fist of the Ruby Phoenix. Stunned feels so bad sometimes. And level 1, with no way to mitigate it, I'm not sure how much I like it. All right, anyway. getting back to it. Let's do his base stats. Let's get through those. Armor class. I kind of want to give him a little bit more HP, a little bit more armor. I want him to kind of be the last man standing, so to speak. Yeah, no reaction from stun. Yeah. It is, especially if you're playing a champion or a fighter, and at level 1 you're like, so my whole shtick is kind of, done. God. All right. Before I start talking about, first off, yes, level 0, alignment. I'm willing to bet chaotic neutral, right? Yeah, chaotic neutral. Weird. Very weird. I mean, they're smugglers. It's not like they're awful human beings. Well, they're awful human beings. It's not like they're skinning dogs or anything. They're not evil, but not great. Not great. High reflex. Again, I think I'm going to switch this fortitude and will, just because I like that. I'm going to bump this armor class up to, 115. No, 16. Small change, but I like it. Give him a few more hit points. Give him 18 hit points. Okay. Some bump ups. I like these. Yeah, no special senses. Okay. All right. I'm going to switch as well. I'm going to switch strength and dexterity. I want him to be a bit more of a bruiser. I want him to kind of stand toe-to-toe with the players, even though he's still kind of a pushover. He's level 0. I don't think there's a lot there that's going to protect him. I'm going to lower that intimidation, despite that being a thing I just talked about being good for him. 3. Can you make that a 3? That feels good. So it's not his go-to strategy. Athletics, on the other hand, that's what we want him to do. We want him to do a lot of that. Let's make that a 6. Boom. All right, and I believe, yes, rapier. Oh, is cutlass, or do we have cutlasses yet? Cutlass. No. What's the other? Sabers. How do we? Yeah. Oh, sawtooth. Sickle saber. Sawtooth saber. No, I mean, yeah, rapier. Seems fine. Keep him with that rapier. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, give him a rapier. I don't want him to have a ranged attack at all. If he's got the option to use a ranged attack, that's a dagger. Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's even better. Especially, one, I like the look of that. Getting the rapier in one hand, the dagger in the other, and he can always at one point have that one-off, boom, ranged attack. That's why I love daggers. Where did do? There we go. What's the formatting for daggers? Just thrown. Okay. I didn't know if we needed to dagger in the teeth. Oh, all right. Speaking of, I showed Savage Tide. I showed the one art. Here we go. Here is the art that I grew up with. Oh, hey, you'd still get this $1. You can still get this on the Paizo site. This is the art that got me into Savage Tide. Okay? Boy, oh boy. This art. 1, very cool. 2, entirely sells the adventure path wrong. If somebody said to me, this adventure path is going to be about pirates. It's called Savage Tide. Here's the artwork for it. I'd go, cool. I am excited to play this game. Here's my pirate character. And that character would do all right and kind of fit in thematically for like the first few adventures. And then you take a 90-degree turn into killing demon lords. Yes, if you pitch the adventure path as a group of pirates fight the demon lord Demogorgon, no, you're not pirates. You're mercenaries working for a noble, and you happen to there are pirates involved. There is a big old NPC pirate that helps you out, and you kind of become friends. There's a lot of piratey stuff. There's a lot of ship stuff. You got to go through, but it's not that. That's like this right here. Whoop, this. Here we go. My mirror. I got it mirrored. This misrepresents the. Oh boy, I got an easy way to cheat this. Hold on. All right, here we go. Cheating. Boop. There we go. Put myself over here. Is that disorienting for anybody? There we go. Oh, great. Now here we go. So this here misrepresents what the adventure path is. And that's why I really like the Demogorgon open. I'm not gonna pull it up. You guys, well, no, not everybody was here. Let's go back. So this feels more representative of the adventure path. That's what this is going to be. You're gonna fight Demogorgon. You're gonna deal with his crap, and it's gonna be a monstrous planar adventure through hell. Or the Abyss. I believe, yes, the Abyss. Hell's lawful evil. This is chaotic evil as all get out. So, no. As much as I love pirate stuff, it's not going to be that present in the game. Which is sad. But also, we've got the other adventure path that everybody hates for pirates. What's that again? Serpent Skull. Everybody hates Serpent Skull. I have not run it or played in it, so I don't know anything about it. Speaking of, for people just joining us, check it out. 2006 Harsk. This is absolutely... Tell me this isn't inspired by Wayne Reynolds making some concept art, and he's like, that's what Pathfinder's going to be. This is 100% Harsk. Anyway. Back to where we were, doing Solar Bark. Alright. Solar Bark. Yes. These are not strikes. Give it rapier. Give him a dagger, because I really do like that idea. Thank you very much. Jadam, are you swinging by from the server, or did I get you from somewhere else? Because welcome either way. Where is our rapier? I hope I'm somewhat demonstrating how cool it is to use Archives Nethys. Deadly D8. Disarm. Finesse. And he will not be using it finesse at all. He will be going in like a big dummy. There we go. Using strength. Not that strength-based characters big dummies or anything. I play one. I love my big himbo Harloon. All right. Moderate. I've already forgotten. Let me look at my. My brain is saying 7. Let's look at building creatures at these attack rolls. You can, by the way, just use the guidelines that the monster builder does. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Randomly on Twitch from really? You found this through Twitch Pathfinder searching? That's the most insane, like that. So, this is, that's awesome, first off. Very cool. I love 1E. I also can't play it anymore, I think. I love it. We have a board game server, a role-playing server. I think we have some 1E games on it. We do play by post. And I update every single day for the most part. That's been fun. What was I? Oh my god, I'm brain's trying to do 2 different things at once. How do streamers do this? They keep thoughts in their head while doing other things. But no, welcome. Playing in 2 different 1E games with friends. That is awesome, man. I miss doing that, I think. So I became a dad 2.5 years ago. Cool. But also, my social life has just gone down. Which isn't bad or anything. I'm going to give him a 7 here. And that damage is going to be 1d6 plus 2. Perfect. Piercing. There we go. Yeah, I had so many games that I ran, and then Corona happened, and I wanted to play more Pathfinder, so I took a group that I started looking for play-by-post games, and was so... I had problems with GMs that they kind of like start a game and they'd get in 2, 3, 4 updates and then they're just done. And it was very frustrating to me. And I said, well, I mean, if I feel like I can do it better, I should just do it better. And I met some people, and I offered to run a game for them after our game fell apart. And I don't know if they're watching or anything right now. We made a Discord server, and we just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I think we're about 50 people strong now, which is cool. And we are happy to get more. I say that, and I look over, and we got more, which is cool. Brain stopped. Brain absolutely stopped. Yeah. So now I just kind of hang out and do Pathfinder stuff. Agile, finesse, thrown 10 feet, versatile. S. Oh my god. Agile, finesse, whoops. Whoa. Thrown. There we go. Versatile. S. Boom. All right. Yeah. So what I'd done was really, honestly, this was a very spur-of-the-moment idea of I wanted to do some conversion, and I thought, it'd be kind of fun to share my journey. I'd share this with the Discord server, and I tossed it on Reddit, why not? So the idea that I kind of thought I'd have a viewer, and I thought it would be Cowpow, just watching me hanging out and chatting with him. So it's kind of weird and wild to have even 2 people, let alone anybody that was like, yeah, just search Pathfinder and found you. So thank you. Cool. Hoping I'm entertaining. All right, now, Solar Vark. The ideas that I had pitched were, one, a kick that is an unarmed strike, knocks him into... Yeah, that is also a shove. Now I'm wondering if he's got the dagger. Do I want to just add unarmed strike? I wonder if I could just make it a 2 action. Oh, I hate the make it a 2 action that does 2 mapless attacks. But level 1, that's not too bad. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's a little boring. Special ability. What do we want to? You got to give it a kind of a smugglery, piratey name. What is it? Walk the plank. I don't know. All right, first off, I want to give the Dazzle. I want to give a Dazzle, a 1-action offense, Blinding Spittle. Oh, wait, I think, this is going to be embarrassing if I'm right. I think that is already a name of something from the Gibbering Mouther. I swear to God, if it has Blinding Spittle, it's embarrassing. Burn Eyes. That does have Spittle, but no. Yeah, we're playing Discord. Finishing up Jade Region and other games. Council of Thieves. Dang, man, those are kind of throwbacks. That is awesome. Council of Thieves, was that the first? That was the first Pathfinder specific, I believe. Oh, I'm going to just look it up because ADD. Fifth one. So it was the first... I want to make sure. Yes, it was the first one to take advantage of the Pathfinder role-playing system. Very cool. Yeah. Oh my god, I shouldn't be streaming if I've got ADD. If I do, I don't know. Alright, so we've got Solar Vark. I'm Blinding Spittle. Blinding Spittle. How do I want to do this? He makes a... If he strikes a flat-footed opponent, as an extra action, he can dazzle them. I kind of like that. Mostly because he has to work with his allies for this. I have to make it so it targets, right? Oh my gosh. Let me think. I kind of like that a lot. A requirement. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Requirement. Is that right? A target. Oh my god. Here's my cheap way of doing it. Requirement. And then you just look up a monster that has that, so I can look at the formatting for it. Jamandiel Dory. Sure, why not? Spoilers. Requirement. Requirement. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yes. Solar Vark. Solar Vark has successfully struck. Used a strike. I'm gonna change all this wording later. Action on an adjacent opponent. Is there a period there? I don't want to get stuck in this. Yeah, here we go. Semicolon. All right. Effect. The target is dazzled until the start of Solar Vark's turn. Cool. All right. I really like that. Maybe this is me. I like the idea that you're going to fight this guy, and he hit. Use a strike on a flat-footed. Okay, there we go. So that way it's not a constant dazzling. Capitalize that dazzled. Is it? I don't. Oh, hold on. Okay, disarm is because that's an action. I think dazzled would not because it's a condition. I don't know. I'm gonna give it to you. That feels wrong. I'm so sorry, Sparky. I feel like I hate to do this to you. I'm gonna stick with that, but I'm gonna keep all this saved so I can go back and fix stuff because I am a stickler for formatting. Fair point. Yeah. Just carefully. That's true. And I think when we get Pathfinder 2R, saying abbreviations out loud feels weird. They're reformed, refurbished, repossessed. We're getting the new Pathfinder 2.5. I think we'll get a lot of that. Remastered, that's the word. We might get a lot of that baseline stuff kind of ironed out, and I would really love that. All right, Blinding Spittle. I like that as a thing that might occur occasionally, and it's really fun for your players. Like, did he spit in my eye? Yes, he did. And I want to give the shove action on something. You know what? Oh, I don't know if this is too powerful. Making it a 2-action strike with rapier and dagger and shove. That feels very strong for a level 0 creature, and I don't think I like that. I really like the idea of him kicking somebody. That seems really fun. Yeah, I don't know. Unfair kick, dirty kick, kick. Yes! Technically right by default. Not by default. No capitalized dazzle. Yeah, conditions are weird. Formatting is weird. I get weird about it. Weird. How do I want to do this? I'm going to kick, gut punch, powerful kick. It all sounds monkey. Low blow. Low blow. I don't know. Brutish kick. Everything's a placeholder until it's not. Okay. Yeah. Solar Vark. Let's just write down ideas and we'll change it later. Solar Vark makes an unarmed strike, and I mean I gotta fix that because he doesn't have an unarmed strike right now. So unarmed strike. I don't know that I have to put that, but against adjacent opponent on a success, the target is pushed back 5 feet. I really like that, and I now if I give him an unarmed strike, that all works. If I give him an unarmed strike, that all works. And it also locks out the Blinding Spittle because you brutish kick somebody, you push them back, and then you can't Blinding Spittle as well. So he's got 2 unique kind of paths to go. I enjoy that. Let me give him an unarmed strike. That's the only part where I feel like, from a point of view of like design, that's clunky. Like that's like having to include his unarmed strike specifically for his brutish kick, that he's not going to use that unarmed strike otherwise, is clunky. But I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. I'll think of something. Unarmed strike traits are insane. Agile, finesse, non-lethal. Oh, I'm gonna cheat. A lot of cheating for this. Oh my god. Unarmed. I don't even think you include that. Yeah. Nobody notice me burp, please. Bludgeoning. There we go. Oh, it's enough that it makes me kind of want to take the dagger away. Kind of makes me want to take the dagger away. I'll get back. I'll mull that over in my head. He's got rapier. He's got a dagger. And let's give him some leather armor. Woo! Curious. Pathfinder 2e players, have your... or Pathfinder 2 GMs or players taking loot from enemies. Back when I played 3rd edition, back when I played 1st edition Pathfinder, it was enemy dies, leave their corpse behind naked, just take everything on them. 2e, it's sort of like, yeah, we don't need that gear. We don't need it. Leave it to rot. We're not even going to go sell it. And I get that. I mean, you don't really get... Once you pick an armor, you kind of have that armor. Weapons are much more variable. I definitely see people picking up different weapons to use a lot. But yeah, I mean... I don't see a lot of... Yeah, it seems a lot less like... Yeah, they grab things with runes to sell. Yeah, that was my Diablo strategy as a kid. If it's a different color, if it's magic, take that. Leave everything else behind. But yeah, like that's... Yeah. Everything was an upgrade. I run on Foundry. Exactly. One player will grab everything. Yeah. Yeah. I am not too particular about bulk limits. No one's abused me for that yet. So, I mean, once I start getting people like that are like, I will take... Next knows that I just had them... I had an entire session essentially where bulk was a mini mechanic and they had to like move a 16 bulk statue through town. That was fun. But it's not a fun mechanic. No one's like, yes, bulk limits. Oh yeah, you know what it is? This is a stretch goal. This is a dream. I would love to get Foundry, and I'd love to run a game for people in Foundry. Yeah, bulk is easier to do. 50 swords seems like a waste. Yes. Yeah, and the bulk tracks pretty well. Like, when I look at my bulk limits, I'm like, that's what my guy would carry. And that's what he's got. All right, let me save Vark. Because I like this. And we can always fix this up later. I'm going to actually save this as well to my Photoshop. So I can edit that all to my heart's content later. Cool. All right. Boom. It took me about 2 hours, but we got this severe encounter taken care of. We do have to take this. Boarding requires a DC 10 climb check. 100% down for a legit Foundry game. Yeah. If I ran a Foundry game, it would honestly... Maybe because I'm lazy, he says, with a million projects all spinning plates at once. Maybe I'm lazy. I think I'd love to run Abomination Vaults again. I ran it once to about book 2. And I loved it. I love Abomination Vaults. Because it was like a mega dungeon done correctly. And I feel like that would work really well with Foundry. That said, I don't know. These are just far off. Don't give me more ideas of things to do. Because currently, I have many things to do and no money to do them with. I like when I do things. I have like the server and everything. My wife's like, wow. This is a very nice server you've set up. Like, oh, good job. Very nice. How much money does it make? And I was like, what are you talking about? Things don't have to make money. She's like, oh, I don't understand. Hit the descent to level 2 before... Yeah. Nice. The hiatus always feels... Because I'm on a hiatus right now with my Kingmaker group. And that... Oh, it's like, is this going to be forever? All right. What I was going to say. There is... Before I get into talking about climbing up the Blue Nixie, first, oh, by the way, here's our picture of Solar Vark. The artwork does not exactly match the description given to him. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Now, where is it? Oh, is it up here? There we go. Solar Vark is a disagreeable bald man with a jagged scar running down one arm. I'm picturing kind of a larger Kingmaker play-by-post. I will murder you next. I will murder you. It is on the to-do list, though. I like... They give so much characterization to these NPCs. He claimed to get the scar from a battle with a hook-handed pirate, but obviously he's lying about it. He's prone to making flamboyant attacks to suit his inflated self-style. Again, he'll often attempt to disarm or bull rush foes when such actions aren't tactically sound. This all still fits with kind of the character that we've made. This is Solar Vark. I feel I'm not the best artist, but I am an artist. Hold on. This is now a drawing stream. I pictured somebody large and maybe he's got his position by being the biggest guy there. So I'm a teacher, by the way. I taught art in America. I taught English in Korea and Japan. Oh my god, I made him look too happy. So when I have time where I'm at the hybrid art RPG mechanics discussion with Paizo history tossed in there, I haven't done a lot of that, but boy oh boy, this is looking worse than I imagined. I'm thinking like pirate form Patrick Star from SpongeBob is like a frumpy, dumpy looking dude. Oh boy, this is looking way worse than I imagined. Probably because I'm going so fast. Alright. But like, there we go. I don't know, my Vark, their Vark looks very thin. I mean, I kind of like it. It's fine. I'm just making complaints. Alright. So, to kind of take everything we've done, players show up to the Blue Nixie, the boat. Daytime, nighttime, doesn't matter. We'll get to that later. They row out their boat. They climb up the side, and we'll get to what that check is, and that's small. There are plenty of ropes to aid the climbers. It's going to be like a very easy check for them. So there's some you can see some 3.5 rules weirdness. Each round of combat, the thugs sleeping inside make DC 5 listen checks to hear the battle and wake. We could probably change those rules around for that. Alright, but this is where it gets cool. Ready? Here we go. Once it becomes obvious to the thugs that the battle is going against them, or as soon as any PC attempts to enter the hold, Vark, or one of his thugs if Vark's not present, shrieks out a command to burn them. Burn them all. So, players have arrived, just thinking, alright, maybe the boat's been stolen, you see these guys, fight breaks out, and so the smugglers are like, oh god, they're here to get the animals. The players have no idea about that, and they're like, we'll hide the evidence by burning the animals with the boat that we're on. It's so good. It's so good. Which brings us to the next thing that we have to convert, and we really have to convert this one, because it comes up later in this same adventure. The Ragadessa. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correct, because it is a real-life thing. Let's get a picture. You'll notice it here. When the command to burn the animals is given, a thug, for some reason they've given her a name, Mira Vescat, begins lighting cages of animals on fire. Chaotic neutral. They say chaotic neutral begins lighting cages of animals on fire. I'm not sure. This is why we're getting rid of alignment in the remaster. Fortunately for the players, Mira's not that good at lighting fires. And the smoke instead riles the animals and they escape, essentially. Terrific crash, followed by a woman's high-pitched scream and a strange, shrill keening. Mira's actions have excited the Ragadessa to the point where the arachnid threw itself against the walls of its cage, causing the latch door to fly open, and it devours Mira in one bite. Awesome. So, what is a Ragadessa? Alright. First thing that comes up is the artwork for this actual adventure path. Or maybe it's, I don't know, it's a thing for me. But they are camel spiders. Oh god, anybody arachnophobic? I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about it. Let me just get off of there. Anybody arachnophobic? Ragadessa is a spider. It's a type of camel spider. It's 2023. I feel like I gotta make sure I'm not terrifying anybody. The artwork. Oh boy. Yes, but only real spiders, not camel spiders or scorpions. Huh. Camel spiders, not spiders? Scorpions, yeah, they're something else, I guess. I have an art degree. I don't know. So, the Ragadessa is a giant spider. They're arachnids, but not spiders. That is cool, man. I don't know things. That is, ever since Google came out, I stopped knowing things. It's just, I don't need to know things anymore. They're useless. Also, I'm old enough to say, when Google came out, I look young. I am not. This is not a young man. I really should make more coffee. All right. So the next thing we have to make is a Ragadessa. It's a spider. Now, let's look at the stats of the third 3.5 edition Ragadessa. And you guys will get to, hey, as I go through, see some of the more fun artwork from this adventure path, I think. Yeah, I mean, look at this stuff. This is evocative, challenging. All right. Cool. We got another. There's going to be some more slimy characters. Oh, by the way, let's take a pit stop here. Welcome to level 1 in a 3.5 game. What is this? This is the dungeon you're going to be going through at level... Well, you should be level 2, I believe, at this point. This is an insane mess. And I love it. And it gets wild. I mean, I do believe... Let's see. Zooming in. This here is an illusory wall, and all these chairs are for people to take pot shots at players with crossbows. There's also my favorite NPC to have ever existed in any of my games, I believe. Oh my gosh, where is she? Yeah, is over here. I'll talk about her later. She is Churtle the Kobold, and God, if we get to converting her, I'm gonna have a good time. Because of Churtle, I made a grown man cry for an hour. Was Savage Tide done in the magazines? Yes! Savage Tide was done in the October 2006 issue of Dungeon Magazine, and it was the last run of Dungeon Magazine. I think Wizards of the Coast gave Paizo permission to continue Dungeon Magazine just so they could finish this adventure path. So it's kind of a part of history. And then we got Rise of the Rune Lords after that in the Game Mastery modules. And then we had, Rise of the Rune Lords, Second Darkness, Legacy of Fire, another one, and then Council of Thieves? Yeah, that feels right. Oh, God. I don't think anybody should have that knowledge just at the top of their head. That's embarrassing. All right, here we go. First off, here's our picture of the Ragadessa as it appears in the game. Way bigger than real ones. Way bigger. So we want to get at the stats for it. Here's going to be another antagonist. And yes, so this is when Order of the Stick was published in Dungeon Magazine and Dragon, as well as they were advertising for their adventure game, which they're still advertising on their website, which just is like, how long has Order of the Stick been around and it's still not done? It's still not done. Still going in 3.5 rules. And look, this is Paizo advertising for the Game Masteries, their map packs they still use for their Pathfinder Society games. Cool. The Golem's got it. 2005. Oof. There's... All right, I swear to God, we're getting to the stat block. But can I talk about how little respect Paizo had for players? Or, I shouldn't say that. How much respect they had. Switching sides. They used to write these a lot. What if your players pick the evil path? Here's how you'd rewrite the adventure path if they're the bad guys. Wow. I mean, I think that was just fantastic. So I really do love that sort of stuff, these sort of things. I think nowadays, if you gave these handouts to Paizo, they'd be kind of embarrassed by them. But I like them. There's something nostalgic about them. If we do a full convert, like if I go wild with this conversion, I would remake the handouts because they're just not great. All right, here we go. Ragadessa is a giant spider, medium-sized spider, and its whole thing is spring attack, improve grab, ta-da. And we've got a math fixer in the powerful bite. What that says to me is in 3.5, this would be a very mobile fight, and that's about it. It's got to jump, bite, grab, and that's about it. And that's cool. We can actually keep that entire spirit intact for our conversion. I like that. Now, there's already 50 for giant. Ah, dang it! Really? Let's see. Giant biggest fishes. Why do you know so much about arachnids? All right, let's look that up. Because if so, that saves us a lot of time. Giant. Oh my goodness, this might fit very. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this thing. Not the. There we go. That's almost exactly what we want. Pounce. Hello. They're scary, but also fascinating. Yeah. I mean, I don't. So I knew we had the creature. Didn't know they were the same kinds. It really is. All right. If I made it out of curiosity, no. Here we go. I want to make this a moderate encounter. It could be a low encounter. So, all right. We've got the scene set. The players are fighting these smugglers, and at one point, the smugglers shout out, burn them all. Boom, a round later, out comes the Ragadessa. Terrifying. They could potentially still be mid-combat. This is a 3.5 thing. Encounters were not one encounter. They kind of spread out. They clumped in more. They became these sprawling things. And that's hard to do in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, where there's sort of this rest built into the system. You're going to be going in. That said, throwing in another encounter at the end, the smugglers, they burn them all. The smugglers are done. They're running. They're getting off the boat. The players have a round to prepare. And then we get the boss, so to speak. This giant spider comes out. And you know what? Level 1, it would be 40 XP. Trivial. But let me do one of these. Let's smack that up to elite. And now, that's a lot of hit points though. I don't think I like making that elite. I think I'm already hating that. That's too much. That's too much. These showed up in Against the Scarlet Triad, Book 5? Yeah. What? Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, Sparky. That keeping this non-elite, it shows up at the end. Any fire-spitting smugglers. Oof. Oh, you know what? All right. We're going to probably stick with a giant... I cannot pronounce this. Solifugid. All right. Bear with me. Sorry, everybody. Solifugid. Pronunciation. I want to do this. How to pronounce Solifugid. All right.
Solifugid.
Okay, well that feels wrong. Solifugid.
Solifugid.
I don't like the robot voice saying it. Solifugid.
Solifugid.
See, that's entirely different. Solifugid. I like that, though. Solifugid. All right. Autofocus pirate ability. Okay, so, Solifugid. Now that I can say it correctly, let's replace that. All right. Ragadessa. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to replace it with giant Solifugid. I already can't say it. Solifugid. All right. I'm putting temporary because what I might want to do is use that as a roadmap and go back and tweak it a little bit. because, and the reason I say that is, I liked, oh boy, if it's got rend, giving it a grapple on there might be, oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm thinking of a different thing. I was thinking constrict for some reason. Yeah, I might go back and just give it some stuff. I don't know. We'll put that as a temporary thing. So, fire-spitting smugglers reminded me of another big reason why I wanted to convert this. First off, artwork. Thank you. Very cool. Thank you. One of my favorite pieces of illustration and one of my favorite encounters, it takes place in the middle of a parade. Yes! In the second adventure, the players arrive back to the town of Sassarine. Oh god, I'm really getting ahead of ourselves here. And you get attacked by the parade, which is cool. That's why I want to get there. Oh my god, here we go. Check this out. I hope no one can hear my stomach growling. You are fighting stilt-walking fire jugglers. Awesome. Who hurl alchemist fire and daggers at you, while an acrobat beats you up. Just so very, very thematic and cool. And look at this artwork. Our proto Seoni here, doing a little slippy stuff. I believe there's rules for fighting on stilts here. There's also like, I love this weird artwork. Hey, look at that! My arm did not get really illustrated too well. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. Where are we? Oh my god. Yeah, no worries. There's got so much to convert. This is not a goal-oriented stream. We'd have stuff done if that were the case. All right. For now, the Ragadessa will be the giant Solifugid. Thank you for the suggestion from Biggest. Yes. There we go. All right. And I'm going to put in potentially give grab. I'm writing improved grab, but I'm probably not going to give it improved grab. That could get nasty. All right. Now, the other thing that we need to do with the Blue Nixie is boarding it requires a climb check, a very, very easy one. So the whole, if it's too easy, don't even make it a roll. That's the thing. Boarding the Blue Nixie. Boarding the Blue Nixie requires a DC. I might even keep a DC 10 athletics check. Yeah, I'm so surprised. That's book 5. Was that just showing off? Where does that take place? Katapesh. It's just showing off monsters from around Katapesh, I suppose. Very cool. I missed that stuff, by the way, from the old APs, where it would be monsters and it has a bigger level 18. Ah, there it is. Okay, that makes sense. I know that sometimes you get an AP and it'd just be like, here's a bunch of just mechanic stuff for like somewhat related things. I'm getting lower and lower in my chair as I relax. All right, requires DC 10 to climb, and I believe they don't say it here, do they? 10 feet from the main deck to the waterline. Yeah. All right. Here's the reason why I'm including a check at all. The getting knocked off the ship is not going to damage anybody. We're not going to hurt people with throwing off the ship. But what we are going to do is tie them up. So you get knocked off the ship. Now you have to climb back up. Spellcasters, that could be a death sentence. This could be a hard encounter for spellcasters. So what we've got is Vark's thugs, which are going to try and reposition people close to the edge. Vark himself is going to knock people off. Potentially, things go well for the NPCs. One person gets knocked off, and now we have the fun little mini encounter of them climbing back up. Should take them, one action? Yeah, one action to climb back up. If they got a grease spell, yes. Exactly. Like, there's so many fun things you could do here. Or, even better, the players are going to use it against the pirates themselves, who don't have athletics. Vark does. But anyway. So, there. Blue Nixie Part 2. Boom. In the bag. Oh my god. I'm so hungry. And I'm not going to eat on stream. My wife made me keema curry last night, which is really cool. If you've not had keema curry, this is Japanese keema curry. Super good. It's also pretty spicy, and my son loves it. It's weird. All right, let me see if there's anywhere. Gold, we're not going to touch gold yet. Okay, I'm not going to... I want to give you guys... I want to pose this to you, because it's fun. Without any context for this puzzle, here's a puzzle. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Chimera looks to sunrise, Cyclops looks to sunset, Medusa looks to sunrise, Umber Hulk looks to sunset, Basilisk looks to sunrise. I 100%... when you get to the portion where this becomes relevant, the puzzle makes a little bit more sense. But I remember posing this to my friends in college, and they stared at me for maybe like a good 30 minutes drinking. Just, I mean, first off, playing, back then everybody was drinking. And nothing can get done if you're drunk. Just like, okay, you got to explain this puzzle to us. We gotta figure this one out. What does any of this mean? Well, we will hopefully get there, but I love old puzzles, and I can't write them. I can't write puzzles. Okay, Part 3, the Vanderborn Vault. Now, story-wise, let's talk about what happened. Sounds exciting. Yeah, well, I don't know which part sounds exciting, but yeah, it is. So, up till now, our players were hired to go get this vault key, or I believe her inheritance for Lavinia, from her parents' ship. That ship has since been sold by her brother to these smugglers in the Lotus Dragons, a thieves guild, to smuggle exotic animals. The players arrive, they fight the thugs, the animals get loose, but the players get the key to this vault. What follows naturally then is to go to the vault. Now, some context for this vault. I mentioned a while ago that we don't have to care about Lavinia or Vanthus's parents ever again. I was slightly wrong. They do factor in one small way. They were Seekers, which is... I don't know enough Greyhawk lore for this, but for those of you who like Forgotten Realms, think Harpers. For those of you that are into Pathfinder and Galarian, kind of like Pathfinder Society. They're do-gooders that go around doing adventure. So her parents were cool, kick-ass adventurers. So, what kind of vault would a cool, kick-ass adventurer have? Oh, bullshit puzzle vault. Yes, with guardians. So, we're going to be doing that. Oh, something in my eye. Hold on a second. I'm going to get some water because my throat is getting all sorts of bleh. Feel free. I'm not even going to mute. You can listen to me pouring water. Huzzah! Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. And then I'm going to make more coffee and have a nice day. Oh, by the way, how late is it for you guys? The audio yes, exactly. How? So let's see. What time is it? If I started this stream at 10:30 my time, what is it? What is it? Hour? No. Oh my God! 2.5 hours later. Yeah, 9 p.m. for the Pacific. Oh my goodness. East Coast, by the way. I'm originally East Coast. I am from... I've hidden... I've hidden my accent very well. I'm from New Jersey. Hey, so, if anyone represents New Jersey, specifically South Jersey, where we don't have anything, I'm your boy. Alright, that was it. I'm too old to be saying things like that. Alright, the vault. Let's get this out. Let's get this. Part 3. The Vanderborn Vault. Reference, the bugs from Starship Troopers and how they fight. Yeah, it's funny. You are not the only one that had that thought. Let's get that again. Let's get that again. Because Oh, there's the rain. There's the rain coming in. Whoa. Because look at these things. These are absolutely the Starship Trooper bugs. Oh, North Jersey. Oh, I'm a little jealous in a way. Because whenever anybody asks where I was from, you don't say South Jersey. There's nothing in South Jersey. You're like, I'd be like, oh, I'm from Philadelphia. You know, and I just fake, I fake an accent. I'm from Philadelphia. Yeah, you know, go Eagles. Hey, you know, cheesesteak. Hey, it's good. North Jersey at least has stuff. I mean, not great stuff, but it's stuff. But now I live in Japan, have lived in Japan for 7 years, and my Japanese skill does not reflect that. So, if anyone out there wants to stop by, get some sushi, come on over. We'll convert stuff together, play a game of Pathfinder. All right. Oh my god, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. This has been a lot of fun. I should do this more often. The Vanderborn Vault. Got it. Obviously, we've got. As a GM, a thing I hate, because no player forgets this. She offers the players 100 gold pieces per month to remain in her employ. You better bet. This question got asked to me all the time when I was running this game. Hey, has it been a month? Doesn't she owe us money? These guys were off slaying demons, and they were like, we got to check in with Lavinia. She owes us 100 gold pieces, which, if you know 3.5 gold, is not a lot of money. It's like, oh. I remember they were like, you know what? Just pay us a year in advance, and we'll take care of things for you. Oh my god! And so many adventures do this. I hate tracking. Things. I track enough. All right. So then she says, "Hey, could you guys come with me? Speaking of the time for me to head out. Yeah, Sparky, this has been really awesome. Seriously, we will stream again. And if you're in the server, come in, stop in for a game. I'll be running a bunch soon, and I will probably be doing this again. Have a good night. Boop, 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 boop. That is." I'm cool. All right. So back to the vault. The vault. You get asked to go to Castle Terracnian, which I believe is like. We'll talk about Sassarine. I believe the castle is essentially this underground castle that the old cultists that ran the. James Jacobs made this town, and it shows, and it's really cool, and there's a lot of love put into it, but it's only around for 2 adventures, and it's such a shame. You could foot an entire campaign into Sassarine. Anyway, hey, let's all go to Castle Terracnian. Is it underground? Anyway, over a dozen, central vault, boom. You go to the vault. Clerk comes in. Here we go. The door is arcane locked, cast level 15th. I'm not going to handle this right now. I'm not going to get into what ritual that's going to be to convert. I will say this. I'm going to put a note here. I'm going to put arcane lock, convert later. Because that's just a headache of seeing what that's going to be. We've got a 15th level. These are things that in 3.5 would come up. Because I had players that would go back and be like, I'm going to Mordekainen's disjunction that door. Why? I want to get into that vault. The vault you have the key for? Yeah. Alright. Stuff that, honestly, 99% of games are never going to interact with, but we've got the rules for them. Alright. Okay. Here we go. We get the door... Oh, here we go. A single handle printed on the door just below... No. Here we go. The portal is emblazoned with a simple rune and 8-pointed star. I believe we can look that up. Seeker's Star? Greyhawk. Let's see if we can take a look. Seekers of the Arcane? Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Boom. It is essentially a compass rose, which makes sense for a band of traveling adventurers. So that's what they see. And... honestly, that just doesn't stand out to me. But this will give us... She doesn't quite recognize the 8-pointed star symbol, though she admits it seems familiar. There's another recall knowledge check. The same star symbol appear western edge of the Merchants District. I feel like that actually might come into play later. Regional base, a world-spanning group of adventurers and treasure hunters known as the Seekers. So, Pathfinder Society. And I mentioned this, I said this to Nex like maybe an hour ago. We could convert this to Galarian. That's a whole nother project. Like, that's a big old project. And this really, really, really works specifically for Greyhawk. All right. We're going to do recall. Woo! What is that? Recall knowledge. And that's a DC 15. I'm just going to keep that DC 15. A lot of these 3.5 DCs kind of match up well against the Pathfinder 2 E1s at low levels. At low levels. Obviously, it gets blown out of the water once you hit level 3. Even 2. So I'm going to say DC knowledge 15 to notice mark of the Seekers. Cool. Boom. Easy. Easy peasy. All right. Same symbol, yeah. I'm curious, and I might put a little note there, that Merchants District as well. Merchants District? Question mark? Because it might actually come into play. There is some exploring Sassarine stuff. I don't remember. And well, I did give this a quick read over. It's also been 15 years since I've played this. So my memory is not great already. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Lavinia turned 23, which is the time that, well, let me just say this. The tradition held the induction of children to the guild didn't occur until their 23rd birthday. Very random and strange. Whatever. Seekers. Sure. Okay. First thing we do. Oh, nope. Let's go here. Players are here. They see the door. This is a very small dungeon. It's not even a dungeon. It's a vault. Players are here. They get in. Once Lavinia presents her signet ring. This is going to be an important part. She presents the ring. Door opens. Shows that she is a member of the family. Now, wondering if you guys can see where that's going. This signet ring opens the door. Now, what the players see is this kind of strange shaped room, and they do not see this opening. This is a pillar. 3 pillars that they see. Of coiled serpents, I believe, yes. Floor of this dome chamber, there are 2 15-foot wide alcoves. Feature marble pillars carved to resemble coiling snakes. Boy, having trouble speaking. Dome bears the huge representation of the same 8-pointed stars. Boom. Okay. So, now what we've got is kind of, for Pathfinder, the introduction of the exploration activities. Obviously, 3.5 that did not have the 3 separate modes of encounter mode, exploration mode, and downtime. That's a Pathfinder 2e thing. And that's because it was sort of all one homogeneous mode. You would kind of smoothly flow from one to the next. But it made for some weird rules vagueness. So what we are hitting right here in its second edition is the transition from exploration mode, the transition from downtime mode, not downtime, downtime mode, out of combat, out of exploration, to exploration mode, to eventually encounter mode. So what we have here, although there doesn't seem to be an actual exit from the room because they see only those 3 pillars of serpents, a DC 20 search check of the northernmost pillar recessed into the chamber's wall reveals the snake pattern, blah, 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 are different. Let's talk about 3.5. This is going to be a nerdy statement. I attended a seminar about Dungeons and Dragons mechanics. The second you say, I've attended a seminar about Dungeons and Dragons mechanics, you can just give up. I feel like I have no idea how I've succeeded in life by having had that statement in my life. If the players search the room and don't make that DC 30 search check, what happens? Do they stop? Oh, game's over. Dang. Fun adventure path, guys. How about we try another one? So, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, one of the mechanics they were touting a lot during the playtest, and which, if I'm being honest, I haven't seen a lot of, or at least I haven't seen the spotlight put on it in the actual release, is fail-forward mechanics. In that you can make a mistake and still progress, because that makes sense. The game still has to keep going. So, I mean, I think... I just think anybody who is currently investigating would notice that the northernmost pillar is different. Okay? Then, once searched, it reveals a hidden switch that, when triggered, causes the snake designs to animate, and pulling apart to reveal the next chamber. I gotta say, that's a very 3.5 thing. That the idea of progression is locked behind these skill checks. And those kind of get regulated over to the exploration activities now. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to put here, what is it? V2. I'll clean up all of this doc. The end goal, by the way, for this is to make a beautiful PDF. Hey. Actually, do I have an example? Let me say, actually. Drive, no, wait. Hold on. Let me make an example of what I'd like this to look like. Have I got... No, wrong thing. Boop. Up. Winter's Vale. Here we... Is this it? Ooh, that's not it. That's not good. Locations? Dungeons? Maps? Laughing Forest. No. I made a bunch of stuff, guys. This is... There we go. No, come on now. I guess not. That's a shame. I thought I had that saved somewhere. Nope. Crap. Look at all this stuff I've been working on. Alright. What's I saying? Alright. I'd like to have should this all work out, we'll make a nice, beautiful, pretty PDF, toss it on Pathfinder Infinite for free, or toss it on the Reddit. You know, the goal of this is not to have a beautiful, the goal of this is not to have the most perfect conversion, but to sort of play around with converting. And if at the end of it, we do have a full AP that we have converted, all the better. All right. I'm going to write down exploration mode. Any searching or investigating PCs discover that the northernmost column seems peculiar. Boy, this falls right into the realm of the investigators' that's odd feat, where it's like, that's weird. I just give it to the players. Tell them there's something up there. But see, now we walk into that problem. Okay, fail forward, right? I'm just going to put in the DC 15 perception check. While searching, reveals the... Sorry, what is it? It's a head, right? It's a pillar head of this pillar head. Snake patterns. Search of this pillar head reveals a hidden switch. All right, there we go. Reveals the hidden switch to open the gate. The pillar. Now, what should our failure do? Because we want the gate to open, but we want it. We want it to open regardless of whether or not they find that hidden switch. But we should give them something. Or we should punish them for failure. Punish is not the word I want, but there should be a detriment for failing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write here failure. Failure to discover the hidden switch. I forgot to write here. Oh, chat's so quiet now. It's just me talking. I feel screaming in the void. Okay. The thing is, here's where we can get to that failure mechanic. We have an Iron Cobra. Iron Cobras at one point in 3.5's lifespan, were like the... I'm glad to see you're here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to guilt anyone into talking. The Iron Cobra was like the mascot of 3.5 for a while. I'm not... That might be wrong to say. Those of you who weren't around during 3.5 D&D days, they released a bunch of insane stuff. They had the Chainmail miniatures game. The Iron Cobra, I believe, was one of the like standard units you would get. And then they released a miniatures battle game, which was not Chainmail. But you could also, again, it was like common. No worries. I'm sorry. I didn't... Okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to guilt anybody into talking. Oh, it's embarrassing. Let's see. Yes. So yeah, the Iron Cobra was like everywhere. And then Keith Baker has created the Eberron setting, which has lots of not clockwork, but magical steamworks. And it's kind of got this steampunk aesthetic. And the Iron Cobra fit in there so well. So it showed up in so many adventures. I swear, I'm not crazy. So our Iron Cobra is going to be the one encounter in this vault, which is great. It's easy to make, and it's kind of fun. First off, it's a construct, and it poisons like a snake. That's it, and that's all it needs to do. Honest to God, I mean, it's got more here. They can be commanded by its creator to essentially cast locate creature and hunt things down. I don't care too much about that. Very stealthy. Cool. Yeah, I like that. So obviously, I'm saying obviously. Absolutely. Next. Am I recording? I don't know. Oh, now I am. Uh-oh. End recording only. Yeah, I don't know. I'll record these eventually, and what I'll do is I'll record the next one, and I'll do some video editing. Maybe we'll toss them on YouTube or something. But until then, oops. I think it saves them for like 14 days. So I could just extract that and upload it somewhere. You know, and I'll cut out all the me having ADD stuff. Right. So what we're going to do for the Iron Cobra, this is so easy. Animated object, particularly animated armor. We're going to use this as the base. I like using bases. You notice I haven't really from scratch built anything yet. Don't waste your time editing. You should. I'm going to say this. I will absolutely GM Kingmaker on the play-by-post server. Once I get the time to do so. If somebody paid me to GM, God, yes, that's it. That's all I need to do. I could just GM 24/7. I don't even need to sleep or eat, but Kingmaker's huge, man. Oh, and play-by-post. All right. Anyway, if we get more people that join the server, and who knows. Okay. So, for those of you who want to convert stuff, I have not sat down and made Cobra Iron Golem. It's essentially that. In a way, first off, we make it small. We use this as our roadmap, like I said. But the thing we want to give here is this construct armor. It's one of my favorite traits because animated armors, and you fight these a lot at low levels in written modules. Like Pathfinder Society, I can think of at least like 3 Pathfinder Society adventures where you fight an animated armor. They are awful to fight for that first, half of the combat, and then you break the armor, and it's suddenly like mop up time, and you feel really cool and awesome, and I really like it. So what I'd do is I'd make this not a unique. If we're going to play around the rarity tags, they can make it an uncommon, small-size, mindless construct, and give it poison. But it only has, so many doses of poison that it can give out. Not that that's ever going to come up, but I don't think anyone's going to hit the limit of the poison that's in here, that's in something. Ooh, sorry about that. We will make it a soldier. We'll make it this is small sized, right? Medium? That's insane. That's madness. Do I want to keep it? It doesn't matter, really. By the way, so if you haven't seen an Iron Cobra, this stands out to me. That's not what it is. Go D&D. This is not the artwork I'm familiar with, but this is. Yeah. So they're cool. I would see making it small doesn't really matter. And to go back to what I was saying, this was the D&D miniatures game that they tried to make. Swear to God, please, somebody. This proves this was not a fever dream for me. Somebody else tell me they tried to play this game. It was not a game. It was the D&D rules attached to collectibles. That's what it was. Because you look, these stats are almost exactly the same to these stats. Yeah, never knew about it. Yeah, this is there was this, and I'm gonna. This was not chainmail, D&D. I'm hoping they give me the original. No, of course the miniatures. Yeah, and then there was chainmail, which is this was actually pretty bad from what I remember. I wanted chainmail to be good so badly. I had so many. They were trying to compete with Warhammer. You had little factions that you had, and it was, oh God, I don't know what went wrong with it. They were trying to apply D&D rules to miniature combat, and it just was gross. It didn't work. Oh, there we go. And I think that the quality of the miniatures weren't great. Anyway, that is actually still separate from whatever this is. This was a very strange thing. I sat down with a bunch of friends. I bought a bunch of miniatures, and I said, "Oh, we're going to play this game." And they started playing, and they went, "Oh, this is just shitty D&D." And they were right. That's all it was. You still rolled D20s. You just took the role of monsters fighting each other for victory points. It was fine. I had an Orcus miniature, which meant I had Orcus, which didn't feel fair. Like, my buddy's like, I attack with a goblin. I'm like, I attack with Orcus, demon lord of the undead. I win. You can't beat me. All right. Nerding out. So that's that's the Iron Cobra. This is I shouldn't be doing this. I'm very distractible. All right. Call it the Iron Cobra. So in this book, this is level 2. I actually think I want to keep it level 2. And the reason for that is 60 experience. It's a low encounter, and I feel like that's appropriate for what we're going to be doing. Let's here we go. I'm going to get back to that failure for what that is. Encounter Iron Cobra. Call it low. Cobra. Low. 60 XP. All right. This is. I swear I don't usually write my stuff like this. I would love to show you guys the Sunless Citadel that I converted, and maybe I'll do that another time. But I'm usually much more precise. This is all just taking notes at random. All right. What we're going to do, take a sip of water, dry the throat out. We're going to have a level 2. I'm going to make it small because I want it to be small for no other reason. We're making it, whoa, not a sniper. Making it a soldier. We want to have that high armor class that breaks. We want a high armor class that breaks, and then it just becomes a joke. Beyond that, give it a bite attack, and a poison. That's it. Because I'm this way. Oh, that's not the one. I want to give it, here we go. Uncommon. And it's not a humanoid. Oh my god. Construct. Boom. So, I just like... I like rarity tags. They don't have a mechanical benefit. However, they do. Recall knowledge checks do adjust that. Or the rarity adjusts recall knowledge DCs. So, for instance, if I wanted to figure out what this is, I might go, oh yeah, crafting check, boom. Yeah, that's definitely an animated armor kind of thing. You might know about this stuff. As a GM, I might give out information at animated armor DC. Oh yeah, if you hit it, it's got armor, you can break it. Cool. If they hit that uncommon DC, and I know this is not the rules as written for recall knowledge, but what are the rules as written for recall knowledge? So, I would say, like, oh yeah, you know that they have, what are they called? Oh, they even have the name here, and I'm losing my mind. Reservoir. There we go. Reservoir of poison that they can inject into their victims, their prey. So yeah, I like that. I like these stats already. Just looking at them. Armor class 18, very difficult for level 1 characters at this point, but that's going to go down. God, I really hope that my mic does not pick up my stomach growling. I'm going to eat the hell out of that curry. All right, I'm actually, before I even do anything, the one thing I would 100% want to keep is keep construct armor. And I'm just going to do that before I do anything else. Going right to special abilities, going right to defense. You heard that growl? Ah! I'm thinking about this curry, man. This is so good. I was like, 10:30. I'll just have a late lunch. And now I'm like, oh god. All right. We're going to construct armor. I absolutely just copy pasted it. It has no actions. Boom. Have any traits or anything? No, I think it's boom. What is hardness? 9. What? Oh my god. That's disgusting. Oh my god. How many animated armors have I fought and how many times am I like 9? Whoa, wait a minute. Oh my god. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Oh god. 9 seems insane. Now, admittedly, this thing has 20 HP. I have this set to soldier, and it's recommending 30. I'm wondering if I just drop it to 5 and keep that 30. Now, 30 seems like a lot. Let's look at building. Let's look at building creatures here. Let's look at HP. Oh my god. Level 2. 30. Yeah. I'm wondering how much that 9 hardness is accounting for, is justifying the level 20. God, I'm gonna stay away from the. God. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. No judgment. I'm gonna real quick just grab a bite of that curry. Cold, it's fine. I'll be right back. It's delicious and yummy. Oh my god, so hungry. Okay. You ever walk through a restaurant, or not a restaurant? You ever walk through a supermarket and they offer you a free sample? You feel really guilty for not buying the stuff. That happened to us 2 days ago, and they offered us some curry. Whoa! And it was really good, and our son was like, oh, we gotta get this. So we've been making curry. It's very good. There's one more bite. It's fine. Okay. There we go. This is the content you showed up for. Hardness 9, perception check to see weak point. Bring the hardness down to 4 or 5. I think I like that. I don't think I like it for this. Just because we do have the way to get this hardness down. Admittedly, getting that hardness down is by smacking it. Or critting it. But what I would like to do That hardness is not going to be 9. That's ridiculous. The old 3.5 has 5 adamantine. Not hardness, but damage reduction, so tomato, tomato. I'm gonna go to 5. Maybe even... no, I'm gonna go to 5. Yeah. Alright, where's HP? Where's HP? Come here. Hit points. Resistance, weakness. No, here we go. I'll just put hardness. Wait. Oh, shoot. Oh, well, I wonder if I can do this. Check this out. This is weird. Yep. I will. Oh, I want that bold. This uses a drop down, but it doesn't always work. Yeah. All right. It doesn't matter too much. Just OCD. Shouldn't make fun of OCD. Not making light of OCD, but okay. Armor class drops that armor class. This one drops by 4. I'm okay with dropping by 4. I like that too. So armor class reduced to 14. Boom. Are they constructs are immune? Oh no, they're not immune to critical hits, are they? No. I'm also, again, absolutely stealing this immunity block because I don't want to type everything again. Boom. Hardness 5, HP, armor class. What's this say again? 13 when broken. All right, 14 when broken. Boom. So cheating. There we go. Look at that. Here's our small iron cobra. Currently it doesn't do anything. How quick is it in the old version? 30 feet now, so normal speed. Same, I think, yeah, so just 25 feet. 25, you know, I'm gonna bump that up to 25 here. Again, we are using this as a roadmap, but it's a snake, not a suit of armor. I'm okay with that. Oh, God. If anyone's wondering if I'm putting on a voice or something, if I'm, like, being extra animated for a camera, no. I live in Japan, and I have to have a very different personality for interacting with Japanese people on a daily basis. I'm a lot more muted, so any chance I have to speak English rapidly, I absolutely go all the way. Where did our speed? I keep losing speed. Here we go. 25 feet. I like that. We'll give it 1 attack. Really only needs the 1. And it's going to have a poison rider on that. Strike. Jaws. Fangs? What does this call it? Bite. I think we try and get away from like the verb-based naming. Fangs. I'm going to go with fangs. This is level 2. Let's look at some of these. Here we go. Level 2. Moderate 9. Yeah. What's our max armor class at level 1 again? I always forget. What's skipping out over shields, skipping out over champions. 3 for your trained proficiency. 5 for armor dexterity together. 18? Yeah, 18. Add in a shield that goes to 20. Yeah. And then champions. Adjust for champions. I think I actually kind of like it at this middle ground of 10. I think I like this. It's a high striking. Ooh, low damage, though. Yeah. This also is quite low damage. It's like 1d4, 1d6, yeah. +1, plus poison. There it is. I mean, that's the killer, is the poison. Piercing. I'm going to drop this strength down as well. I know I don't have to. Verisimilitude be damned, but I'm doing it. Oh, we got to do a few other things. This is a construct. There's a lot of things that constructs can't really have. This charisma and intelligence, for instance. Well, we should very much put them down. Okay, there. That feels good. Do I want? I'm kind of thinking now if I want to put that strength back up. Oh, yeah. There we go. 1d6 plus 4. Stream of consciousness, everybody. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay. So this is what our first off, no poison iron cobra looks like, and it's kind of comparable to an animated armor. Now, looking at our building encounters, I think this is exactly what we want it to be. This is a level +1. It's a standard creature or low threat boss. It's a low threat boss. It's that's up one level. A low or moderate threat boss. Stand by it. Still correct. It is a low or moderate threat boss. I like that. Let's give it some poison. And the first thing I'm going to do is look at the poisons that exist. I don't want to make my own poison. A lot of creatures have venom. This is not venom. This is poison. I know there's a difference. It feels like I feel like it would be cheating. Where's our? All right, hold on. Let's get alchemy. Whoa! I don't want to do that. Chemical poisons. It feels weird to give it venom from another creature because it's not. Those are. I don't know biology, but I know that's not right. Let's give it a low-level poison. Arsenic, giant centipede venom. Say there's the venom. Like, yes, you can definitely buy some. What do we want it to do? Let's look at this one. This one, strength Whoa, yes. 3.5 poisons. Damaged ability scores. They were debilitating. They were deadly. Oh my god, especially if you got one that hit con. Oh no. Holds 3 doses of poison. Yeah. I should write about that. Oh god, a few things. I also forgot I want to give them stealth. That's about it. That's all I want to give them, stealth. I want this thing to be sneaky. I want a GM to look at stealth, and I want them to say, oh cool, I can strike a creature, strike a PC, bite, stride away, and on the next turn, hide. And then come out and keep doing it, and kind of being this actual skirmishy kind of thing. Despite the fact that it has the armor class and the hit points to stay up, I want it to. I think it should have more stealth. Yes, absolutely. Oh god, yeah, 100%, 100%. This is my placeholder stealth, but since we're at it, you know what? Let's. Ooh, hold on. Let's give this finesse. Let's switch these numbers and lower some stuff. That might be too low. I like that. Let's go back to 3 here. I don't know. Ability scores get referenced very, very rarely. Very rarely. Like I said, I use them for roadmaps. What am I doing? Let's get back to the animated armor. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's definitely going to have much more stealth than perception. I want to see these saves. Wow, that is abysmally low. +3 reflex, +4 will. I mean, the will does not matter. It's mindless. A lot of the low-level will stuff is not going to affect it anyway. Still, wow. Note to self, also include mindless. There we go. All right. Yeah, a lot of the low level, it doesn't matter if it's got a really low will. Yeah, but these are like terrible. How's it moving around on what type of ground? So it is. I'm okay with keeping it at regular speed because it's. What's the word? Where the plates. Let's take another look at it. Take a look at what this looks like. So it moves around on the stone ground of the vault. I don't want it burrowing away. As fun as that would be to have it like burrow down and bite a player's leg, it kind of gets by shuffling about on those not quite clockwork plates, but yeah, kind of clockworky plates. I really like Iron Cobras. I don't think I should. Anyone play 5th edition? And are they still around? Because this seems to indicate it is. And I hate this design. I don't know. This looks too smooth. It looks magically created and not made. I guess I'm a little more alright with this. Except they put skulls on it for some reason. Anyway. Yeah, let's get back to giving it more stealth. If I were to say... Yeah, let's give it more stealth. I don't know how much I like it having that high perception either. It doesn't really need that. Let's just jump this down to 6. And let's put the stealth up to 8. Because if a GM does use, taking cover and hide and sneak, there's not a lot of places to hide here. But there are some. Like, these are things I keep in mind as a GM. Like, I love having monsters be sneaky. I love when these things kind of get to feel like they're naturally doing these things. But I also don't want it to be absolute bullshit. It's like, we can't get this thing. I want to bump this damage back down to 1d6. Oh my god. This is another thing. I never get to see my process kind of play in slow-mo when I do this stuff. So there's so much that I just keep going back and forth on. Like, I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like this. Yeah. This looks... Oh, we gotta do plus poison. Alright, now let's pick our poison. We could... Sliding metal around on stone. How stealthy would it be? Oh! Yeah, that's a good point. This thing is it's gonna be sneaking up very quietly. Clank, 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 clank. Yeah. Let's look out of curiosity. I'm wondering if this I know this accounts for it by giving it a plus 10 enhancement bonus on hide and move silently. Hey, I gotta follow. Hey, Risky. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? We're talking about Iron Cobras. Yeah, it's got a hide and move silently, which have thankfully, oh my god, been rolled together as a Pathfinder. Did Pathfinder have hide and move silently separate? No, right? Anyway, plus 13. So however it's doing it, it is doing it somehow. I'm not going to fight it too much. I almost, because of that, want to give it a bump. Yeah, okay, thank God. I remember there was an example in the 3rd edition Player's Handbook, which was like, Lita can move very quietly, and and she can make it to the door to listen in, but her low wisdom means that she can't hear too well, and something like that. And because of the light, her hide is so very bad. And I just remember being like, there are a lot of rolls to do very little action at one point. So a lot of times when I was playing 3rd edition, I was like, that's fine. Make one check. We're not doing hide and move silently and this and that. And again, I have been justified in that Pathfinder seems to agree, or Paizo seems to agree. So, all right, poison. Enfeebled is probably an effect we want to go for, but Enfeebled is only a round-by-round thing, and if it's only the one combat in this entire vault, let's just make it a damaging poison. And that's kind of... where's... for criminy's sake. Oh, no. There we go. Had to get this. Had to get that. Oh, heck, I'll just do this. All right. Poison damage. Damage and enfeebled. Spear frog poison. I like that. Let's look. Poison damage, flat-footed, poison damage, giant centipede venom. I don't know how many of you GM, or if you GM and see things the way I do. I see giant centipede venom all the time. It's such a classic poison that I want to do something else. 1d6 poison damage, 1d8 poison damage, 1d12 poison damage. It ramps up pretty disgustingly. Don't want to do a 30-minute thing. We want quick. Oh, hold on now. Speaking of quick. Look at this. Black Adder Venom. 1d. It's 3-round duration. So at max, you crit fail and you do not succeed on any more checks. That is 6d6 damage. At level 1, that's obviously a death sentence. But that's very rare. Stage 1 being 1d8. I like that. Black Adder Venom. And it's fitting. And again, I did say I don't want to do Venom. But this feels fine. This feels okay. All right, I think that's what I'm going to go with. Let's pull that up. Boop. Yeah. All right, I'm to see how the notation is. Giant centipede, because I believe it's just written down there. Yeah. Da 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 da. Here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, you know what? Even better. Oh, so cheating. I'm just gonna cheat. Copy and paste is the way to do things when you want to save time. All right. Black Adder Venom. Okay, now we got to get this format looking better because I'm particular. Poison saving throw. There we go. Okay. Can understand if the movement would go through some of the stone walls. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah. The stealth thing. I'm just gonna have to accept that. 1d4, 1d6, 1d8 damage on successful rolls on it. So poison. Oh my god. Is one of those things that's so simple on the tin. And then you get to the table and you start doing it. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Hold on a minute. Thank God I've been doing so many play-by-post games because I get so much poison experience. Yay. Essentially, it happens. And if you're affected by the poison, you make your saving throw. If you fail, you go to that stage 1 and you immediately get those effects. Then your turn occurs. And that's where the debate comes of like, when do you roll the saving throw? I do believe there was a clarification that you roll it at the end of your turn. Then your result tells you what happens. If you fail and you jump down a step, then you'll take the effects of stage 2. If you succeed and you bump up, you're okay. But you only get, you don't suffer a same stage twice, unless you're already at that maximum stage. So, for instance, somebody that failed and then failed, for the Black Adder Venom here, would take 1d8 poison damage, and then on the next round, they would take 1d10. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss the Black Adder Venom? Has a... Oh, look at that. Yes, I did. I don't know why I missed that. It has two... I thought it had 3 stages. Or I thought it had 2 stages. Cool. Yes. Ooh. What's the average hit points? The low hit points are 17. So you would take 1d6 plus 3, fail that fortitude save. Ooh, it's starting to look nastier. It's starting to look nastier as I'm working through this. And yes, injury poisons, yeah, they are mostly some sort of venom. So, yeah, I think me being weird about it is just me being weird. That venom might be too strong. Yeah, because I mean, fortitude save of 18 is rough. Admittedly, and here's my concession to why I still think this might be good. Maximum duration of 3 rounds. Your combat hopefully is not going to make it that full 3 rounds, and then this person at the end is going to have to get taken care of. And it's also poison is such a weird spot. Because poison now in Pathfinder, for the most part, operates as a combat thing. Okay? Like, poisons before were like, we have to deal with this poison for the course of a day. It's now been like a disease thing. There are still long-term poisons, but when I think poison, oh my god, where am I sitting? Here we go. So when I think poisons, I think, how's this going to help the creature in combat? And I'm gonna stick with the Black Adder Venom. I also want to note the reservoir thing here. Poison reservoir. This way, not that I'm trying to make sense in the in-game world. This way, somebody could make their own Iron Cobra and put a different venom in it, or a different poison in it. Here we go. I'm talking about venoms again. I'm just gonna make a note of it, just so it also notes. Okay. This says an Iron Cobra's poison reservoir holds 3 doses of poison. That's a fun number to play with. We could potentially make it so it's only got 1. But I don't know. No, I think giving it 3 doses of poison is still fine. What are we going to call it? Poison reservoir? Yeah, I'm good at poison reservoir. Da-da-da-da. None. Poison reservoir. Poison reservoir. Can I spell? An Iron Cobra's body can hold up to 3 doses. Whoa. Of the same poison. Can hold up to 3 doses of this. The same type of. I'm hedging my bets. Not that anybody's like gonna try and abuse this. I don't want it to be like 3 different poisons, and that gets confusing. 3 doses of the same type of poison. Refilling this reservoir takes. This says 1 minute, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just like the Pathfinder sort of things being broken down into 1 minute is a combat, 10 minutes is your rest, 1 hour is a recharge for special abilities, and then the day. I kind of like this as a downtime of 10 minutes. It seems fine. Yeah, are we missing anything here? Because this works. This works. I keep catching glimpses of myself making strange motions. Just get used to that. I think I'm going to stream for about another half hour more. Yeah, sounds right. Because I am so hungry. So we'll finish up the vault. I think actually we may have actually just finished up the vault. Now that I say it out loud. This looks good. I think this works. And again, if you're using Monster Tool, the Monster Creator, Monster Editor, if you're signed in, it saves them all, so you can always go back and take a look at them. Me, because I am a crazy person, I also keep screenshots of them saved on a personal file, so I can just go back, and if I've, for some reason, lost them, like I've already lost the Vark's Thug, oops. For those of you who weren't there for that, I just forgot to save it. But I have a picture of it. I can go back and copy over the stats. Yeah, I like the Iron Cobra. I think that presents a dangerous threat that can mess up a team, but also not an insurmountable one. So there we go. Let's take a look. Boom. Also, here's a very interesting thing. If a fight with the Iron Cobra goes on for more than 4 rounds, which Pathfinder is unlikely, give players a DC 15 spot check each round and notice the Cobra seems to be taking pains to avoid Lavinia. I don't love a lot of that there. What I mean to say is, what I really like is this encounter can be completely circumvented if the players are like, wait a minute, this is a Guardian for the Tomb, and it's going to obviously be okay with people that are... with the family tomb. And the first hint they should get is that Lavinia has to present the signet to get in at all. So I would love it if players kind of put that together. What I don't like here is the vagueness of 3.5 rules where it's like, give each player a DC 15 spot check. Do I do that secretly? Do I tell the players? Could you make a spot check? Which is, that's what I did back then. Could you make a spot check? Yep, cool. And obviously players are going to go, well, why did I make a spot check? Oh, no. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just make a spot check. And obviously combat going on for more than 4 rounds. Pathfinder combats... Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. 4 rounds seems like a lot no matter what. Given the groups that I play... Okay. I want to talk about the awful group that I played with, that I played this AP for. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking of a different group, but I can talk a little about that. 3.5, my player had played a half-giant character who started off with a +8 to strength. So I believe he started out with a 26 strength. Combats did not last very long. If you got past round 1, it was astounding. And I just talked about a strength build. That's not even a good build. He died all the time in Age of Worms. 3.5. That's where Rocket Tag was invented. So, what I'd like this to instead be... and I'm going to write this down, and I could change it later. At the start of the second round, make a secret perception check for each player. This is just off the top of my head. Say DC. Make it a hard one. Slightly hard at level 1. Why? Oh, I didn't spell that right. To notice that the Iron Cobra is taking pains to avoid attacking or approaching Lavinia. That's about it. That's the hint the players get, and if they use it, awesome. I like that. And I'll adjust that at the start of the second round. And we could even put like an every round thereafter. I'm not sure how much I love it. Anyway, that's a thought. We'll do part 3 of the vault, and because I want to include something there, and then I'm gonna get something to eat because I'm starving. Oh my god. Okay, we got to the puzzle. I like this. I'm gonna actually read this out because I think the puzzle is very interesting. I remember solving it before reading it, the answer, and I was so proud of myself as a kid. All right, this octagonal room is supported by a single large pillar with dozens of deep grooves along its sides. The 7 walls of this room each bear fantastically detailed bas-relief carvings of exotic monsters in threatening poses. Starting at the wall immediately to the west. Well, I don't know how to demonstrate that with a mirrored camera. And moving clockwise, the carvings depict a tentacled monster with a glaring red eye and a mouthful of teeth. Bonus points if you know what these things are. A looming dragon, a fish-like creature with 3 eyes and 4 tentacles, a 2-headed giant wielding a pair of immense clubs, a spherical creature with 4 eye stalks, and a bulging central eye over a drooling maw, a gorilla-like beast with a fanged maw and 6 eyes, and finally, a towering black spider with 7 eyes. I feel like you guys are all very smart people. You may have picked up on a theme to what's being described. If not, here's a little bit more. Each monster's eyes consist of a glittering red stone. Okay. The ceiling above is only 10 feet high, with the familiar 8-pointed star pattern radiating out from the grooved pillar. The arms of this star are black, save for the one pointing south toward the entrance, which is red. So, if you're like my players, you showed up in this room and were like, I have no idea what any of this is supposed to be. But you get this clue here. Chimera looks to sunrise, Cyclops looks to sunset, Medusa looks to sunrise, Umber Hulk looks to sunset, Basilisk looks to sunrise. So, You may notice none of those creatures were represented in the bas-relief. I'm not even converting now. Now I'm just talking about puzzles. But the one thing they definitely all noted is that each of these walls, we've got our roper here, our dragon, what was next? Aboleth, what was four-eyed thing? Oh, I'm giving it away. Here we go. Etten, Spectator Beholderkin, Grey Render, and a monstrous spider. Okay? So each thing's 1 eye, 2 eye, 3 eye, 4 eye, 5 eye, 6 eye, 7 eyes. Now, it doesn't matter what the monsters are. It doesn't matter much else. It's just that we can essentially assign numbers to these alcoves. Then, if you're going off of eyes, how many eyes do chimeras have? 3 heads, 2 eyes each, 6. Cyclops, 1 eye. Medusa, 2 eyes. Pretty sure we're not counting the snakes. Umber Hulk. This one, I'm making sure. 2 eyes, I believe. Basilisk, now Umber Hulk, I feel weird. Umber Hulk has 6? Umber Hulks did not make the transition to Pathfinder. How many eyes does an Umber Hulk have? 4. Look at that. Though the artwork does not seem super consistent. Whoa. All right. Whew. Getting weird with this one. So yes, this means... Yes. Yep. So it's a combination safe. 6 right, 1 left, 2 right, 4 left, 2 right. You just kind of treat the entire thing like a combination safe, which is cool. It's also kind of a difficult puzzle. So, here's my solution for puzzles. And I want every GM out here to hear this, whether or not you agree. Give players hints through recall knowledge checks. I might say, hey, look at all these monsters. Give me an Arcana check. Ah, you notice that all these monsters have different numbered eyes, or a number of different eyes. Cool. I'm going to just write in here Vault 3. By the way, I'll get into the numbering later. Give, recall. Whoa, why do I keep spelling it that way? I'm bad at puzzles, but never. Honestly, I love puzzles. My wife caught me one time. She saw me on my phone very intensely sitting there, and she's like, "What do you think you're doing?" I was like, "Oh," and it's just bunches of puzzle games, and she's like, "You have a problem." Like, no, I love like Sudoku. You know, they call it nombre here in Japan. Oh my god, I'm a sucker for puzzles, which also means I am not allowed to write puzzles for my players because I make them what I think to be easy, and they are very hard. So yes, this is a hard puzzle, depending on how you approach it. So I would give recall knowledge hints based on, Arcana, Occult, and Crafting. Because I think with Arcana you might say, like, hey, look at these eyes. Occult might give you some more like that. But crafting should definitely be like this appears to be like corresponding to how a safe would work. So that's how I would adjust that. Because I like puzzles, but not everybody does. They even note this. I feel this is a little backhanded comment here to Lavinia. Unfortunately, his code is too clever for her. It falls to the players to decipher the mysterious list. Now, I'm going to leave us on a cliffhanger. Obviously, we're not. This is an easy conversion. We're going to make it so they can't pick the lock with thievery. That's it. They can steal the gold. That's fine. They open up the vault. Ta-da! And everything's already been taken. That sucks. So, following the story so far, Lavinia has a reason to use the money. We did say that it was to do some colonizing, so again, that's a problem. That's a bridge we'll cross later. She needs some money. She inherited money from her family, who died in a tragic ship explosion that her brother rigged. And then you go get the family's vault key from the ship that her brother sold to thieves and smugglers. You get the key, you go to the vault, you open it up, and it is empty. So you've been doing all of this, and you get nothing. But of course, the story has to go on. So, most ledgers list debts owed to the Vanderborns from guilds and noble families in Sasserine. Hey, cool. You have on paper a lot of money. So then this is what kicks off the adventure path, so to speak. She discovers a bunch of folders about a place known as the Isle of Dread. For those of you who know your D&D history, the Isle of Dread is an incredibly sort of famous and iconic portion of D&D. It's got giant monsters and all sorts of crazy shit. Slozar, God, I wish you were here watching this, because you would love this. Over the course of the next two adventures, the journal leads Lavinia to discover the existence of Farshore. Here we go. In distant colony, her parents helped to establish on this remote isle, but for now it serves a little more than a curiosity. Now, between the gold and the IOUs, Lavinia can now pay back taxes and get her estate back in order. So, give some money, ta-da-da-da-da. Adventure could potentially end here. There is the obvious, why is there no money in the vault? Ta-da! Turns out Vanthus came. Vanthus blew up mom and dad. Boom! Sold your family ship to smugglers, who then burnt that ship down. Stole all the money out of the vault. Vanthus sucks, and we haven't gotten to meet him yet. So, our next part, and the next thing, I might stream again this week. This was really fun. So I'll let people on Reddit know. I'll let people in the Discord know. When we're going to pick up Part 4, Peril under Parrot Island. Lavinia asks you to track down Vanthus. And if you don't hate this guy, and here's the thing, I think the players shouldn't know too much. They should kind of like, oh man, parents died in a tragic fire. That sucks. Oh man, a bunch of smugglers got a hold of your family ship. That sucks. And then it's going to be, oh, Vanthus took all the money? Man, but maybe he has a reason for it. Your players should still not be like, they should be unsure of Vanthus at this point. We, as GMs, or we as the people converting it, know, holy shit, Vanthus sucks. We don't like Vanthus. So we're going to get into meeting Vanthus in the next time we convert this. You can see right here, tracking Vanthus, so exciting. And let me tell you, when my players met Vanthus, they swore a fucking oath to kill this guy. And you know what they never did? Kill him. Let me tell you, I don't think your players are going to get much of a chance, too. He is a, he's a tough one. All right. This has been really fun. I really hope I can do this again sometime. I'm going to try and find out if we can archive this and see what we can do. I will, doing this in the future, I will be putting up everything that we do into a big doc file and throw it to everything. Thank you for the follow, and I'm so sorry that I'm going to leave as you follow. You guys are awesome. I'll figure out this whole streaming thing. This is my first time ever doing it. This is really fun. I've talked a lot. It's so cool. All right. And yeah, if you guys ever have any ideas, if you're like, hey, I thought about this cool way of fixing the fact that this metal snake is sneaking around on the ground, yeah, shoot it to me, and I'll be ready for it. And yeah, if people want to do play-by-post Pathfinder games, or we've got Alien RPG, we've got Delta Green, we've got so many more. I think someone is hacking together an Animorphs role-playing game on the server. By all means, I'm going to toss the server link in there one more time. Oh my god, I just looked at the server right now, and we did get some new people. Very cool. I'm going to toss it in one more time. Boom. Enjoy. Join us. Make some friends. We're going to be starting games up in June, so 15 days. All right. I've been talking a lot, and thank you again for having me. You guys have a very lovely night. I forgot. My day's just starting. See ya. Bye-bye.